see, it's not just me.
Jeff, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see, it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. We call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense, but it makes.
Well, yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, you would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling's always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
Yes! I look and see, it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see, it's not just me.
My security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. We call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. We call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Living it wild. Yeah.
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ethan is the champ, and I'm afraid to say I don't want to show you how he gets in shape. There's costumes in his bedroom, there's figures on the shelf, but he gets most excited playing with himself. It's time Joe wins the title because we found
every booking is golden, you see. Perfect cards crafted for you and me. Yeah, the best guy's Tony Khan, it's true. Triple cup, best damn booker in the land. 3 red cups stacked up, always in command. Triple cup, living legend of the fight. Just a call away from making it right. Never see him back hard, no way. Got the whole roster locked in for the day. A Crimson Tower, modern art. Triple cup. Triple cup. Every booking is golden, you see. Perfect cards crafted for you and me. Yeah, the best guy's Tony Khan, it's true. Triple cup. Best damn booker in the land. 3 red cups stacked up, always in command. Triple cup. Living legend of the fight. Just a call away from making it right. Never see him back hard, no way. Got the whole roster locked in for the day. A Crimson Tower, modern art. Triple cup.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another eclectic edition of PWT Live Show. And again, these sounds are all messed up. I had a ticket, what is it called? A inquiry ticket or whatever, a report ticket going with StreamYard. I was busy yesterday, so I didn't check my emails. Then they just closed it on me. Okay.
You fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked up.
But I am your host, Phil S. Marks. The S is for pissed off. Well, I'm pissed off. No, I'm totally fine. Just this is annoying how every time you open StreamYard, alphabetically, all your shit gets moved around, at least for me. So I got to open up another thing with them. I guess it is what it is, but we're going to make it work, ladies and germs. I am Phil S. Marks. Tonight is Dynamite Beach Break 2026. Maxwell Jacob Friedman takes on Kenny Omega for the AEW World Championship. CM Punk, his WWE Championship win, causes meltdowns in the IWC, which we watched Raw on Memba Monday, so make sure you guys tune into that. JJ Alexander joined me, and we watched Raw for Memba Monday. That's also up on Patreon. I have Patreon videos dropping. I'm going to drop multiple just the end of this week and over the weekend. I have a bunch line. I'm not going to space them out because I already didn't drop the ones I said I was going to drop. Okay. So I'm going to just drop like 4 days in a row, starting like tonight. If you're on Patreon, you'll see one of them drop tomorrow, the next one, boom, boom, boom. And a lot more of those are coming your way. I also have a really big announcement coming soon to PWT involving PWT podcast. Okay. A really big announcement. So I cannot wait. Just an amazing announcement. I'm also in maximum grift mode because CM Punk announced he is going to be, he is doing all the house shows coming up for WWE as the champ. And so he's doing both Calgary and Edmonton house shows, the super shows, or however they're promoting them, the live event. It's Raw and SmackDown, people. And I'm pulling up to one of those. I don't know which one, but I'm going to one of those to see CM Punk, and cry in the fucking face of everybody crying over Punk's title win after crying over Sami's title win. It's just that WWE fans are a bunch of crybabies. At least sickos will fucking chain you up in a basement or something. I mean, we're just fucking crying and shit over it. No. So we have that. All in is, doing terrible tickets wise. They're 50% off, and Dave he's just sitting there talking about how AEW is the hottest it's ever been. AEW is so hot. It's hot, hot, hot right now, Brian. It's feeling hot, 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 Brian. But meanwhile, when WWE does like a 20% off sale right before WrestleMania on Austin 316 Day or whatever, Dave's talking about their peak is over and they're done and all of this bullshit. Meanwhile, AEW, same thing. I don't know. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk some WWE news. We have a little bit of TNA news. And again, we're going to watch this Dynamite, this title match. Interesting that Raw went down with that title match. We're going to talk about Sheamus a little bit. I reacted initially to it on Memba Monday as well, but I'm going to talk about Sheamus a little bit. And what else, guys? There's news, there's indies news, there's miscellaneous stuff, there's maybe we'll get to a sicko segment, and yeah, we'll just see what we have time for. How's chat doing? I hope everybody's doing amazing. I want to start a poll. I'm going to put it in the chat here. Who do you think wins the AEW Championship match tonight? And I'm going to put this poll up on the screen. So we will give champs honors MJF. We will put Kenny Omega, and we will put DQ Schmaz. And I want to know, what do you guys think? So wherever you're watching this show, whether it be on Kick, YouTube, X, as people file in, vote 1 in the chat for MJF, 2 for Kenny Omega, 3 for DQ Schmaz. Just put a 1, 2, or 3 in your chat. 1 for MJF, 2 for Kenny Omega, 3 for DQ Schmaz. Who do you think wins the AEW Championship match tonight? Okay, I see it jumping around all over. So nobody's picking MJF yet, which is pretty crazy. I'm going to lock my vote in a little bit. We will be attentive for that match. If it kicks off the show, I'm going to be disappointed. I got to be honest, because WWE, say what you will, but they set up a perfect scenario. Like, I don't care what anybody says. When the fucking door opened and Punk came through the thing, it was like, and he's all jacked up right now. It was like, I don't know. The place went crazy. I went crazy. It was like a chills moment, like a goosebumps, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, right? It was like a fucking insane moment. And they had a banger of a match. And this is way more compelling. Like, look at how much everyone's talking about this shit. That's how you know it's compelling, because you can't say, well, it's bad. How? Did they not deliver on the match? Was Sami not a good champ? Was Rhodes not a good champ? People weren't even over licking their wounds over Sami, still crying about Sami being the champ, and then Punk just wins it. It's fucking hilarious. It made the dirt sheets look like dumbasses, because they're like, oh, there's all these problems, and Punk really wants to come back Chicago, but he's slated for SmackDown, so blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, yeah, he's just going to get involved in the WWE title. I didn't think he'd just flat out win it. Your boy Phil didn't think he'd win it, dude. I thought he would just like show up, get involved, and then be like, I'll see you on SmackDown. And then no, he fucking just won it. Like crazy. It's fucking nuts, man. And it gives Rhodes more incentive to like finally snap and turn heel and do heelish shit. And I was all for it, man. I thought Raw was pretty goddamn good. The Maxine moment as well. So we're going to talk about that stuff. But you can't say you're not intrigued or not entertained or not compelled by what's going on. You can't say, oh, well, it's bad. It's not thought out. It's just for show. No. Let's see Tone do one thing that makes people talk like that for a week. And then one thing that makes everyone talk like that for another week. So hit like, hit subscribe, hit heart, hit retweet, okay? Support the goddamn show. Super chat in. Sign up for Patreon. I'm really shilling the Patreon. I'm really pushing it hard. Sign up for that shit. Tough Enough Season 2 watch along is coming very soon as well. And yeah. And then also, yeah, with PWT Pod, man, it's coming back in a big bad way. There will be an announcement with that, and someone joining me on the show to make that announcement in the near future. But not gonna rush things. But yes, PWT Pod finally returning. And so, ladies and gentlemen, without further, sorry, there's like fucking people yelling outside or something. Jesus Christ. It's like I'm in the ghetto or something over here. What's going on? So, ladies and gentlemen, what is chat saying? Normally, I'd be the first to roast Monet, but she's 100% right. Dave gave a lame excuse, and she called him out. Yeah, so did Monet call him out on that shit? Let me look that up, because I didn't actually see anything. I'll look it up, and then I'll already have it bookmarked. Watch. So Mercedes Monet, Dave Meltzer. Let me just search it up. I don't know. Dave was just flipping around why he didn't want to like rate that match, and it's just like, you're fucking tired and you don't like women's wrestling, and that show is just dragging on, and you don't give a fuck about Maya World, and so you like, he doesn't like Monet because she roasts him all the time. I fuck with Monet heavy. I know people don't. I know I make fun of her a lot, but like, I fuck with her. I always have, and I gave her like as being a good wrestler, but she needs a good dance partner. And I feel like in hindsight, we can say that Monet was trying to get those titles involved in Dynamite, but Tone didn't know how to do it. Like, you can only do, as the talent, as the worker, you can only do so much, right? And some weeks it's like, okay, I'm going to throw mashed potatoes in this bitch's face because that's all Tone has for you. Okay. And, yeah, she's definitely cringy. Definitely her theme was like, all right, this is Gunther uses this shit. And I get it's public domain, but what the fuck are you doing? And yes, I roast her harder than anyone. But I put her over for the fucking titles. I've always put her over for roasting Dave. She always does it. And that's why he reluctantly has to give her stars, because she is like probably one of the best women's wrestlers in AEW, if not the, like, in as far as in ring, able to do a good match. But notice she's always typically needed another wrestler to like really stand out. I mean, come on, man, when you're talking like the Baileys and the Vaquers and some of these women that she's had like all timers with, you know, Hazuki's cool. Like, if you like her, cool, or but no one, she's like mid, you know, compared to like some of the other women's wrestlers out there. Monet's not gonna have that type of banger Dave thinks it is or pretends it is, and he doesn't realize that shit. But anyways, yeah. Make sure you guys get your votes in. Okay, I think there's like over 100 watching now. We can officially start the show, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so I think I shilled everything. Patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Times. Super chat in. Gift a membership. That's dope to do. Member Mondays are going wild. Like, subscribe, heart, retweet. Okay, that's how you support. Come say hello. Okay, come felt me if you want. It's all good. We're all in this together. So let's get into... Guys, we're going to start the show just a little differently. We're going to start with Ratings Wars. Start with Ratings Wise. And the reason we're starting with Ratings Wars is because there's just so much going on, and we don't do it. We do it like maybe once a week. Sometimes I save it because it's all good. It's good to just like compare, stack everything up week over week. Here's the growth. Here's the decline. So we go back to July 2nd, which is about a week ago. WWE NXT, June 30th on CW did 592K viewers, 0.07 in the key demo. So 592, not so good. Right, that's like a 70% drop off. However, here's Raj Giri saying the ratings were down on Tuesday from last week's big numbers against a big World Cup game on Fox that averaged 10.43 million viewers. Dude, you guys watching the World Cup? USA, Canada, both gone. But if you guys are still there, seeing it through, good on you. Year over year, NXT was down 6% only in total viewers, which, I mean, it's a chunk, but it's not that much. The key demo is down 53%, though. Last year's numbers were ranked using the old Nielsen, blah, 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 which we're going to talk about in a minute because they are changing once more. So comparatively to Dynamite, so this was on July 6th as well. Or no, sorry. This would have been the week before. Yeah, so this would have been last Wednesday's show where Jay White was there, the pull apart. What else went down? Yeah, Leo Rush challenged Kevin Knight. So average viewers 634K, 0.09. So even when Dynamite has taken a bit of hit, if you will, I don't know how to phrase that, during the World Cup, they haven't sunk like below 600K, I don't think. Now, maybe someone will correct me on that. And maybe I have something bookmarked in here, but this is the 634. Yeah, so Raj Giri explains here a little bit. It did really well last Wednesday against a World Cup game that drew a combined audience of more than 36.2 million viewers. Holy shit. That's some Hogan Andre shit, pal. In the U.S., the audience was actually up from the week before. So the gamble of doing MJF versus Mark Briscoe match on free TV paid off. Now, I just don't know if it's that. I think, like I've said a billion times, and I don't know mathematically how to prove this or how to explain it or lay it out, but I feel as though they're whittling down the AEW fans. But they've whittled it down to, but it's increased in, I guess, sickodom right? But it's whittled down. So we're seeing like Double or Nothing ticket sales will do comparable to another pay-per-views ticket. I don't want to compare it to Forbidden Door because that always does shitty. Like people don't care about New Japan in America, and people don't care about fucking AEW in Japan. That relationship is not paid off in any way. But let's just say like their AEW's doing more like 10K tickets sold per show, give or take a couple thousand, right? They're doing like right around 10K per pay-per-view. I don't mean show, pardon me. Dynamites are doing like 2 to 4 if they're lucky. 3, let's say, is the average K. And their viewership is like at about 600K, little bit above that. Yes, they've gone below that, but I thought with World Cup on and shit, they would get destroyed like NXT kind of did, like below 600K. Ooh, that's rough. You know, I know the TV networks, people who really fucking break it down go like, well, 500K and up is kind of, in this modern day and age, that's considered actually really good. Most shows that go on TV do like 100 to 300K and shit like that, which is the truth. That's the truth. But we're talking like challenger brand, the big dog, comparing yourself to WWE every fucking week. MJF can't shut up about WWE and shit, right? That's what I'm talking about. TD Love 420's been a member for 27 goddamn months. That's what he's talking about. I'm over
Thank you,
it now.
fuck you, bye, boom.
So I think the AEW audience is being whittled down, but like they do have, I think, more hardcore fans than they did. Or maybe I'm off on that. I don't know. Maybe they were kids and now they register as adults. I don't know. But I will say this. The fact that AEW gets reduced to, like, even what I'm doing, if you were an E-Drone, if you were a WWE fan, you'd be like, Phil's coping over AEW's ratings doing good or whatever the fuck. Or coping over why NXT didn't do as good when more WWE fans watch sports or whatever. I totally get it, whatever side of the aisle you're on. But narrative, perception is key, okay, guys? So the narrative is AEW just got out of their battle with TNA, which people think is non-existent now again, which it kind of isn't. That narrative kind of subsided. Maybe we'll see, like, I think tomorrow they go head-to-head Collision and TNA. Maybe we'll see what's up. But the point I'm making is that fucking AEW's compared to NXT, and NXT's able to beat it in the fucking ratings. And that's still the narrative. So when you see Dave Meltdown or any of these dirt sheets, I always isolate Dave because, you know, I A-log him and shit. But when it's mostly Dave doing shit like this, but a John Alba, let's say, or any of these guys melting down, any of these pundits melting down about, oh, how dare AAA and NXT heat wave go against AEW. Why? They shouldn't even care. They should like big dog that shit. Their nose up in the air elitists about everything. And Tone played it cool, but these sheets, if they really believed AEW was doing as strong as it was, the narrative wouldn't be like, oh, NXT, why are they going head to head? They would just be like, who gives a fuck? Like, whatever, big dog this shit. Ospreay washes the fucking NXT roster or whatever. However you want to put it. But instead, it's just Dave, like, literally going, Kendall Gray's better than all the women in AEW and all the... It's like, whoa, dude, like that's the comparisons he draws to. So the narrative is AEW. We need like a narrative tracking chart because it was AEW versus TNA for a hot second there for like 2 months. Now it's back to AEW NXT, but certainly not Raw or SmackDown. Okay, so people will tap dance over this. It just makes AEW look bad, or at least makes the dirt sheets look bad. If you are modest about this, like, okay, they're doing good against NXT now, good for them, and fuck yeah, this just proves that like AEW fans aren't really watching other sports more than likely. But fuck yeah for AEW, they stayed over 600K when I think everybody thought they were going to eat shit that week, right? So hopefully I explained that well. We move along here in other ratings, just kind of comparing NXT to AEW, we talked about Collision, 310K for Collision. So doing close to, TNA's close to that, right? But beating Collision's like beating Rampage, okay? Collision's remained like slightly better than Rampage was. If TNA can start beating Collision routinely, then it'll be interesting to talk about again. But sometimes they fall below the 200K mark. So we need to just be like, hopefully TNA can keep up. And honestly, I haven't been as locked in on fucking TNA lately, right? And Santana, we got some news on Santana in a bit. So we move along, and I think that's it for AEW NXT ratings and all of that. For WWE Raw, 2.3 million tuned in, and that was last week's, I believe. Or maybe that was Monday's. Yeah, so Netflix views for last Monday, 629. Yeah, with Roman Reigns accepting Seth Rollins' challenge for SummerSlam. So this is the fucking week before, but it stayed even with the prior week. 2.3 million views globally for the week per Netflix data. 4.5 million hours viewed, watched. The show ranked 6 for the week in the U.S. on Netflix, down from 6 the prior week. So that's a typo. And down 7 globally from 4. The show faced competition from the World Cup. Year over year, views were down 8%, while total hours viewed were up 5%. And I'm just curious if Japan will change this in like a month. I'm pretty sure WWE is on Netflix in Japan, and I wonder if that's going to change anything. And again, India, I think people thought would bring in a bunch of numbers. I did too. I thought it would be stronger than it was. But you can explain why that's not the case. And I'm not the one to do it. But Japan, I think it's more likely. How many people have Netflix in Japan? And then let me just compare it. How many people Netflix in India? So Netflix in Japan has approximately 10 million subscribers, right? India has approximately 12.5. And so India's population of roughly 1.5 billion is about 12 times larger, but almost the same Netflix subscribers. Okay. So I guess I am the one to explain it, but really with the assist and the hot tag to AI, Google AI, right? But yeah, so like India has 12 times the population. They only have like 2.5 million more subscribers to Netflix than Japan does. And so, again, I'm not trying to insinuate anything, whatever, but they're probably VPNing it up in India and shit. They're known for having the scam centers and shit. That's all I'm saying. You think they're not fucking jumping the pirate ship to watch their goddamn wrestling more frequently? I'm willing to bet that's the case. But a 12 times larger population, and then you have almost the same amount, only 2 million difference, 2.5 million difference really in how many people are engaging. And so we will see if Japan actually like adds a boost to the ratings or anything like that. And also YouTube's free, you know what I'm saying? So most people, as you can tell by the social media numbers, you go on, most people internationally a lot of the time, I'm sure, where like Raw's not easily accessible, you probably just throw on the YouTube channel, watch the fucking clips, figure it out from there, right? So we'll see what happens with all of that. But Raw, I don't know if it's stuck in a lull. I mean, over 2 million views globally is still really good, but it's also like, yikes, when you think about, like, yes, you have to add in all the social media impressions and all that shit, but it's kind of yikers when you're talking about like the reach Netflix has. And when SmackDown started doing around 2 million, I was like, fuck, man, if it starts doing below, that's going to suck. Like SmackDown, that's going to be cooked. And they're doing below 2 million routinely now, like almost touching that 1 million. So again, I'm not like, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like you can see with what people put on television, whether something's good or not, I think. But at the end of the day, the World Cup is just going off, and clearly more WWE fans, as we've said, watch sports, like other sports, than AEW fans. I'm just pulling AEW up here. I forgot to turn it on. So, as I've said a million times, right? Like WWE fans, like most WWE fans are fans of other sports. Most AEW fans are not fans of other sports. And most AEW fans are also WWE fans, but most WWE fans aren't AEW fans. Both of those things are true. And that doesn't mean anybody's stupid or anything Dave would said either. You're a new fan because you don't. I'm not undermining anyone when I say that. I'm just stating a goddamn fact, right? At least in my mind, and this is further proof of that. And so I don't know what the cope is over the Nielsen system either. So here, sorry. I have Dynamite pulled up. This venue looks sick as fuck. Just being honest. And speaking of Beach Break, though, according to the latest WrestleTix report, AEW Dynamite Beach Break has distributed 2,900 tickets. Now, I looked here, and WrestleTix posted this. They're set up for 3,500, and they sold 3,300 tickets. Now, I don't want to shit on that because I think this thing only holds like 5,000 people max or something like that. And they're charging over $40 per ticket. Like, I don't know if AEW's worth that, you know? And the tickets for the live event I'm going to in either Edmonton or Calgary for WWE are fucking super expensive, like even just for the live events. So it is what it is. But there's over 3,000 people there, and it's a really cool looking setup. They should have almost just done a pay-per-view from here. But I digress, right? Good for them, I guess. This is solid. I mean, with the ring and the entrance and all of that, maybe you knock a couple thousand tickets off that. We were talking about SmackDown, 1.64 million. It was a whatever show. All in London is struggling. We'll get to that, but 5,000 tickets only have been distributed to AEW Redemption for the Bell Center. That's fucking brutal, okay? Only 5,000. Their big triumphant return to Canada, and there's only 5,000 tickets. Now, it will get to 10,000 with giveaways and tone fluffing it up, and it will get to above the, I would say, 8,000 mark by the time, like with walk-ups and all of that shit. Sure, I bet you by the time the show goes down, it's like just under 8,000 or just above 8,000. But that's pretty brutal. Like, that's pretty bad. And there's just zero hype around AEW. Everybody just wants to see WWE in Canada, at least as far as, like, I'm pretty sure the live events going down in Edmonton, Calgary will outdraw 5,000 fucking people. So it's pretty crazy. And the cheapest ticket's $53. So again, you want to go with someone else, and then maybe they can bring a friend or so. I don't know how you work it out. You want to bring your wife, you want to bring a goddamn date or something. So that'll run you what, $150 $100 to go to an AEW show. Is that worth it? Probably, maybe, if you just want to see matches and shit and have a good time. But there's just zero hype. There's zero motion. Dave stooged everything that's going to happen. So there's just really no point to any of this. But yeah, also All In is struggling to sell tickets, right? So the current setup's for 37,000. They're at 28,000. And what the big takeaway from this is that they are selling tickets at 50% off. You can get a ticket and you can get a ticket. AEW fans, come on down. Where's my price? Here's the price is wrong, which is what it really is. The main thing you got to remember is that they sold like 24,000 of the tickets like the opening fucking day. I'm pretty sure. Which was lower than any of the opening or like the first week or whatever it was, which is lower than any of the previous All-Ins. And so they're also in the UK. It's supposed to be their triumphant return. So they start marking the tickets down a little bit and they can't even sell like 4,000 more. And then they drop them down to 50%. I imagine at 50% and with giveaways, they'll do over 30,000. Tone is going to give away like 10,000 tickets to this fucking thing though, to try and make it 40,000. I promise you, anything under 40,000 is like just complete garbage, caca garbage. And he's going to have to, well, he already is. He cut it down 50% just to go to this show and just to try and get the sales up to 30K. Now, remember, when this last WrestleMania did 20% off sale or a 316-day sale or whatever, Dave is like, oh, WrestleMania and WWE aren't peaked anymore. They're past their peak. They're done. Blah, 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 blah. With AEW, they have to do 50% off, and he's talking about their white hot, and it feels hot, and it's the hottest it's ever been, Brian. He is completely lost his mind. All of these fucking dirt sheet guys have lost their goddamn minds. They're in maximum grift mode. Okay. And it's a fucking travesty that this is what's happening and that this shit has been marketed so poorly. And so Nielsen ratings are about to change again. Nielsen switched to Big Data Plus panel last September, which hurt wrestling ratings, and then updated their methodology in January, which helped wrestling cable ratings. When wrestling ratings were dipping in April, Dave Meltzer reported that there was another change. No other credible media outlet reported there was another change. And as Eric Bischoff pointed out when I was on 83 Weeks in May, the April ratings drop is more likely due to the increased sports competition as opposed to a Nielsen change, which appears to be the case. So Dave Meltzer gets caught, and now I have to put this in my other folder, right? Because Dave Meltzer literally just got caught lying because he said at the end of fucking April that Nielsen changed their shit. Nobody corroborated that, okay?
Dummy.
Where's my goddamn flute? You need to play a flute every time Dave gets felted. Where's my flute? Listen. So he just lied and said that Nielsen changed at the end of April. It fucking didn't. No one corroborated that, but now it's corroborated that Nielsen's flipping up again. So it was just AEW did shit ratings and Dave was coping. Okay? That's all that is. Shout out Roger Geary. And so New York Post posted this. Pro wrestling's tiresome counter-programming practices aren't helping anyone. So let's head over to the New York Post here. And this is written by Joseph Staszewski. And I think this is the guy who wrote the article saying, like, AEW's free agent hall has fucking WWE licking their wounds and questioning and all of this shit, right? And so this guy goes, pardon me, if should I just pull this up here? Oh, do I have to I have to sign up and pay for the New York Post to read this garbage fucking trash? Fuck you, buddy. So this is the opening thing. Pardon me if counter-programming in wrestling feels like a fruitless and tiring endeavor on Sunday. This is how pussy fucking wrestling fans are right now in 2026. Dude, I would salivate over WCW versus WWE, and just knowing, like, I would just salivate over that shit. And it was just so fun. And it was awesome having two shows that were just so different and so fun and loaded with stars. I don't know. And in hindsight, bro, all the VHS rentals, they used to have the deal where you could do 7 tapes for 7 days for $7, dude. That used to be the deal at the video store when I was a kid. So you go rent 7 tapes for $7, and they had to be from the 7-day rental section or whatever the fuck. And I would just get wrestling tapes and shit like this. Also, my grandfather taped a lot of stuff, but it was mostly like 80s shit. But he did tape like everything, though. Like all the pay-per-views. Like back then, you'd buy a pay-per-view, you'd hook your VCR up, you'd tape whatever you bought on pay-per-view. Right? Like that was the fucking... Now everything's all digital and shitty, and PlayStation's getting rid of physical media and stuff, and the whole world's gone mad. Are you mad? But, dude, I would go rent like 7 wrestling tapes. Like, you would just go rent like the last 7 pay-per-views, and you'd watch WCW versus WWE that way, however you did it. Some people would fucking tape WCW. Some people obsessively tape WWE. Some people would flip channels. It was so good. So this guy's just like, oh, it's a fruitless and tiring endeavor. On Sunday, TNA ran Slammiversary starting with a pre-show at 3 p.m. Eastern. NXT's Great American Bash started at 7 p.m. And AEW Forbidden Doors main card began at 8 p.m. and ended close to 1 a.m. Dude, anybody reading New York Post is like, who's watching that much wrestling? What the fuck is TNA? You know what I mean? Like, tits and ass? Were you guys watching Dark Side? I don't know, but these guys are crying. Dave Meltzer's crying. Nielsen isn't changing, or didn't change, rather, in April, but it is changing now. So then we'll really see Dave Meltzer's cope. And I just love seeing all these people cope about the fucking ratings and shit. Who cares? Who cares right now? Clearly one company's dominating the other. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was ratings war. Where's my war sounds? Ratings wars! So, guys, I'll just say this. Dynamite's venue looks sick as fuck, and the orange ropes are really cool. It gives it its own identity with the white apron. I love this. I actually love this so much. I love the way the stage is set up. I love the way they're filming it. I love the buildings with the sun setting in the background. I love this whole fucking thing. Guys, we are like... YouTube.com/@ProWrestleClips. We're 40 subscribers away from 8,000 subscribers, guys. We're at like 2,200, I want to say, on the other channel, but let's get to 8,000 subs. Even if you're hate watching, even if you don't subscribe, if let's say you don't have a fucking YouTube channel account or whatever the fuck, just quickly make one. Link it with your Google because it's linked anyways, and fucking sub to this channel if you enjoy PWT. And let's get to 8K subs, okay? I want to do AEW news next. We're doing things a little out of order than a typical Wednesday. Yeah, the crowd's like behind this. I don't know. Jericho and Ciampa are going at it. I love the buildings in the background. I'm fawning over this. And we just got Raj's SmackDown ratings report here. And they were down 12% overall, but up 14% in the key demo. So whatever, for whatever that's worth, you know? So, guys, vote in the poll as well. I need to see some votes in this poll. Who do you think wins the championship match tonight? 1 for MJF, 2 for Kenny Omega, 3 for DQ Schmaz. Wherever you're watching, put in chat. Just wherever there's a chat. 1 for MJF, 2 for Kenny Omega, 3 for DQ Schmaz. Who are you voting? Who do you think wins this title and escapes Beach Break or Spring Break? Beach Break, yeah, with the title. And are they going to pull a WWE and switch the title on Dynamite? We already have blood in the Jericho match. See, I kind of want to go with, personally, I think that like MJF's going to lose this shit. Or pardon me, he's going to lose this shit by like DQ or something. He's going to leave with the belt. So possibly a schmaz. I don't know. I think MJF's going to leave with the belt, and then it'll just result in the rematch in Canada, and then Kenny wins in Canada, and it was just Dave, like, stooging shit. I'm going to stick with that. But if they go with Kenny winning tonight, then, yeah, I mean, maybe that's the move. I mean, this venue looks cool as shit. Do it for the love of the game. Do it for the love of the game. And so these guys are like maybe doing a little too much to start the show, but maybe not. I hope they started it with some. I turned it on like 3 minutes late. So I hope that they started with some MJF action, you know? Like they're already doing buckets and sand and shit like that. It's the first match. And so I'm not saying you need to do this in the main event, but I hope that there was like a through line like on Raw. There was like Rhodes gets attacked. He's not cleared. Someone else has to take his spot. Like there was drama surrounding the main event. There's still time to add some drama to this show to get everyone ready for MJF Omega. But it started with Ciampa attacking Jericho on the stage. Yeah. And then Excalibur, a bulldog into the sand. You are such a fucking mark, dude. Jesus. And a bulldog into the sand. Could you be?
Why don't you just go ahead and fuck yourself up the ass?
Okay, let me get some coffee. And ladies and gentlemen, speaking of Jericho, Chris Jericho.
I look and see it's not just me. So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spent our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Living it wild. Yay!
Yeah, that match ended terribly. Okay, guys, let's get into everybody's favorite segment. Ichi Nissan da. Dude, like I just added a new sound, so it was on the bottom, and it wasn't alphabetical because I'm like, there's no point in putting things alphabetically anymore. StreamYard's gonna fuck me. And then even that sound is moved from just being at the bottom as the latest up. Like, what is happening? StreamYard. But guys, let's get into some AEW news here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for AEW news. Fuck the Ichi Nissan da. So AEW announced that All Out 2026 is announced for September 26th, and they're moving it away from its typical day and weekend and all of that. And I think that that is a good move. AEW is going to be all out of fucking time right away. So We'll see what they do with that show. I don't know what to tell you. They just treat it like any other throwaway show. Whereas, in my opinion, All Out should have been like, you have All Out, Double or Nothing, All In. Okay, that's your SummerSlam, Survivor Series, WrestleMania shows if you made them that way, but they're just not smart enough to do that. Instead, they just have like Tommaso Ciampa threatening to drill a hole in fucking Chris Jericho's brain or what? Like, it's just stupid shit for middle schoolers, just being perfectly honest. AEW All in London got 50% off, as we covered earlier in the show. The tickets are 50% off. They went 50% off, however you want to phrase it. And go and get these tickets. They're 50% off. They're not even at 30,000. And they're going to end up fluffing it. I guarantee you Thurston's going to do some turnstile counter, and it'll be like over 10,000 fucking tickets fluffed for this show. It's going to be so bad. And it's incredibly unfortunate, but it just goes to show you AEW's not as hot as some motherfuckers want you to believe it is. In other business and show news, All Elite Wrestling, and of course, Alba does a fucking paid press release. Like, what is he doing? Why is he doing this? Why is John Alba posting this for AEW? I don't understand it. But he got a for immediate release. So he's just, I'm a member of the press. Okay. So watch AEW Fast Channel now, available on the Roku channel. Roku's latest blah, blah, blah. July 7, AEW today announced that Watch AEW Fast Channel is now available on the Roku channel. So there you guys go. And I think episodes of Dynamite get uploaded the night of or the day after. I'm not entirely sure, but they will be on Roku, and they're headed to Tubi, and they're doing that because they're about to just be on my AEW and YouTube primarily, and not even YouTube. It's not even YouTube. They are going to just exist on YouTube the way everybody has a fucking YouTube channel, like just the way it's intended as like social media essentially. And it's just all to get people to my AEW. I don't think we see them land anywhere unless Tone is willing to take a deal for like 40 million or like 50 million or something like that. 60 million if they're lucky, right? To go on TV somewhere else. But it's going to get interesting. I mean, you have people like Niccolo Piccolo being bold and saying this shit's done, like Paramount's going to axe it. Me, I tend to go, I don't know. I think they'll just keep it and shelve it, and then it'll be gone once the deal's up or whatever. Like if they take the 1 year option just because they can, and it gives them more time to like, because here's the thing, AEW's some back burner shit. AEW's like the last thing Paramount's going to worry about looking into and then fucking like figuring out, do we want to stay invested in this? How much do we own of this? What is Tone proposing? Where does this fit in our larger picture? So it's like one of the last things they're going to be worried about. So maybe they go, oh, there's an option on this. Okay, take that. And then it buys me a year before I got to, whoever's in charge of looking over, crossing the T's, dotting the I's, and the lowercase J's, like looping the Q's and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody eventually is going to have to go through all of that and then figure out whether or not, I mean, that year, but maybe what I'm saying is fucking retarded. And somebody like Niccolo Piccolo is like, no, they just would not do that. Phil, shut the fuck up. Here's what they would do. So I know people want to be optimistic. I'm not that optimistic considering like the shit Nick has been predicting has largely come true. And why would that stop now? Maybe, Tone, according to Dave Meltzer, Tone's very excited about this happening. And Ospreay's out there talking shit about Paramount and all this stuff. To me, it looks like Tone is just spreading his brand as many places as he can. Okay, he'll have a fucking a Rumble and an Odyssey channel in no time. Right? And he should. I'm dead serious. He should just upload his content everywhere. And I think that's what he's doing. He's just getting AEW everywhere. Tubi, Roku, fucking YouTube. All of this stuff, well, it's already on YouTube, but there might be a stronger presence on YouTube. For instance, they started just like dropping ROH shit on YouTube, which there's kind of no home for YouTube for a long time, or for ROH for a long time. And I think AEW is just going to promote my AEW through all these other aggregators, and then hopefully get as many people as they can on there. And they're creating their own network. And that's why Tony even said he's interested in current indies that are making shows, new content that exists in their library, not old shit that you could YouTube and find, or that you have to work some wonky deal out. Just like, here, you're doing this show, you can buy a season pass to your favorite indie fed, these sorts of things. He's like creating his own network, which again is behind the fucking times. But this way the numbers are kind of hidden. And then hopefully they can make the appearance and get the dirt sheets to keep saying they're growing, they're white hot, they're growing. And then when they do a deal that's like for 50 million or whatever the fuck on whatever, because they'd get more than TNA, right? But it won't be 100 million and shit like WBD was allegedly giving them 180 million. What will happen is Tone will present it as like it's a strategic partnership working with my AEW to blah 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 blah. Which is essentially just them trying to promote it, and then they have the dirt sheets on their side just saying it's bigger and better than ever, and then they'll try and parlay it to a bigger TV deal. The way Vince like took everything on the network essentially, but they still had a TV presence, and then it's like. And then they sold themselves to all these streamers after and shit. So Tone's just behind the times. Again, he was worrying about TV and like traditional pay-per-view and shit. When it's like, bro, you had the advantage of coming in and like having the fucking pro wrestling network that everybody wanted, and you have everything but WWE. That was the move. You know, you have everything but WWE on there. Everyone's clamoring for a network. New Japan's kind of hot. You know, like that was the move. He just fucked it all up. He gave up on his YouTube presence. Their YouTube fell off drastically. They got rid of Dark and Dark Elevation, even though you need more house show type shit. Do a YouTube show called, if you're going to air it, okay. But like, why even get rid of that weekly thing? And as Aunt Evans said like years ago or a year ago or whatever on PWT, and he's worked with UFC, TNA, fucking all that shit. And Aunt Evans was like, you could have wrestlers in the chat like talking with people during Dark and shit. Like, why aren't you doing stuff like this? Tone could have been way ahead of the curve on all this, but he just ended up doing what everybody said he was going to do. And that's AEW is going to like have its own channel, and it's going to fucking be on YouTube and shit mostly. And that's how people are gonna get like Roku and Tubi and shit. Okay, that's on everybody's fucking TVs as is. So it's the same goddamn thing. Anyways, shout out AEW. This is actually good for them because they're gonna be able to like hide what the numbers are and have Dave work them more, and a bunch of idiots will fall for it, and maybe it will give the perception it's hotter than it fucking is. I don't know. I have no clue. In other news, though, Paul White, the Big Show, well, it's the Big Show, reveals he will be doing something in the ring at tonight's Beach Break. So we're looking out for that. Okay. Jacques Rougeau revealed that AEW will be honoring the Rougeau family at Redemption. He said, QT Marshall called me up and asked me if Raymond and I would like to go to the Bell Centre. And he says they would like to honor the Rougeau family for 4 generations. So they're going to have something. I don't know what they're going to have. Something on a video. And then after that, they're going to introduce me and Raymond to our Montreal fans. It'll be after the show. And then it'll have to be on the internet. And then people will cry about Goldberg still. You know what I'm saying? And I've had a few sleepless nights lately because I'm so excited, and actually shout them out for this. Like, the Rougeaus deserve more respect. And again, Tone just doing his, I'll never knock him for like honoring legends and shit. Ring of Honor would do that too. Nobody would cry about it just because the wrestling was flippy floppy and whatnot. And so in other AEW news, A judge rules that AEW may file redacted versions but can't fully seal wrestler contracts. And it's so funny how sickos melt down about this, and they're like, God damn it, man, just because of whatever the fuck, like they're going to get their contracts, dude. Here's the thing. Sickos all want to brag about how much AEW wrestlers get paid, but they also don't want them stooged at the same time because they know it will be embarrassing to see how much it will prove that what the roster's getting paid and shit. Okay? So, in other roster news, and guys, listen, they are getting paid. It's over 100 million. It has to be. Okay? I've broken this down, and I've had people tell me, like, I am very spot on with my estimations on a lot of these AEW fucking what they're getting paid. Okay? And I've heard rumors of shit. And I'm not a fucking dirt sheet, so don't take anything I say seriously, whatever. But I've heard rumors of shit that blows me away, where I'm like, this can't even be true if it's that much. You know what I'm saying? Like what some of these guys get paid. Like I still undercut, and it's astronomical. All right? So you just have to remember, like each Buck, Kenny, and Jericho, we're talking like over 3 million each, just them, a piece, and not even 3 million for the Bucks. We're talking each of those guys as individuals, and we're talking probably for just working. Like I wouldn't be shocked if the managerial, the EVP, is a whole other like 6 to 7 figure paycheck on top of it. I'm not joking. Jericho, the numbers I've heard for Jericho are insane. Okay? Fucking insane. And we're not even adding like Moxley and all these other people. So they're going to redact some names, but some names will be released. Some people are interpreting this as like, okay, Ryan Nemeth and some of those guys surrounding this, like maybe Punk's number. Punk made like fucking 9 million or something like that, guys. It's like over 9 million, I want to say. For showing, that's like the most based shit ever, showing up, fighting the Bucks, and then fucking getting paid for that shit, like almost $10 million to just fight the Bucks and choke out Jack Perry and shit. King Dingaling has been a member for 12 months, is happy to be back and able to enjoy this community again. Turns out time away only made me realize how sad and pathetic Meltzer and his meat riders are. Dude, I didn't even, you're back like you never left, dude.
We'll rule you.
You know what they say, PWT's for dirt bags and lily pickers. So you're back with us, dude. So, guys, I'm not saying that the whole roster is going to get their money fucking stooged here, and they'll be able to redact some names, but some they won't be able to. And again, there's just sort of like some turmoil back and forth in the sickosphere over like they shouldn't be able, like all of this over Ryan Nemeth, like it's a private company. Why do they have to? I've seen it, okay? And I'm sure it's the sicko bubbles that Dave fucking dwells in, but it's like, why are you ashamed of seeing how much people get paid when I thought that's what you guys flex over everybody, is how much everyone's getting paid? But it's because you'll see how disastrous the roster costs are for what they're bringing in. And it'll be egg on their face. So more on the roster here. There's a report. This is courtesy of Ringside News. Shout out Steve Carrier. Hopefully you're doing well. And so this report comes from Self-Made Sessions. So whenever you hear Self-Made or Elboo, it's just like,
Uh-oh, retard alert! Retard alert, class!
like, you know, these guys are just full of shit, liars, but they also do ops for tone. Like, just like Alba posts the fucking that thing about the fast channel. Like, who cares? Just like Dave Meltzer's always running defense. Self-Made's always out there to push this narrative. And this is what Dave and Brian are both pushing. Oh, well, they don't really care about Sheamus or whatever. right? So that's their version of pushing this narrative. Here's self-made listening to Dave and then just regurgitating his shit with the lies and like Will Washington telling them shit because they're all marks for themselves, right? And so this is what self-made session, self-made pro. And like how fucking 2000 and late, how like 2010s is it to be like, I'm self-made pro, I'm self-made elbow, I'm self-made, and then on Twitter they're backup Steiner, backup Hangman. So it's like the ASAP mob. That's what they're trying to do. ASAP Ferg and ASAP Rocky. Meanwhile, ASAP Ferg is just Ferg now. Okay? Okay? When it comes to pro wrestling, you check in with me. Then do your job. Okay, self-made? You guys are marks and I run your shit. So I'm just starting shit. I'm in a mood. But the whole like ASAP self-made, that's fucking like, what is this, 2015? What are we doing? Okay. They say, here's what's going on with that. It's nothing against Jack Perry. He will most likely stay in AEW, but he would like to get a big raise like most people get when it's time to re-up with AEW because that had been the norm. Well, guess what? You fucking sicko dirt sheet bums ruin that for these wrestlers by blowing up their spots. Perry and the Bucks and the people, the yes men and the fucking friends group at All Friends Wrestling and all the people who fucking gassed these guys up and Tony Khan made it so Jack Perry fucked himself. Tony Khan's not going to offer him more. And Jack Perry isn't going to get a job offer anywhere else because he fucked himself. Because you guys are a bunch of idiots and want to take victory laps with your arms up in the air after getting CM Punk out of the company. And now Jack Perry's fucked because NXT ain't going to take him and they wouldn't have given him a raise anyways. And so he wants a raise from Tone. So he's trying to artificially work Tone into thinking that he's going to wait till his deal's up. So this is what Tone could do. And this is what Tone should do. Tone should let his deal come up and then fucking offer him less. Now, you might say that's harsh, and I want the boys to get paid, and I'm not even the biggest hater on Jack Perry. I think Jack Perry's okay. But here's the problem, right? Jack Perry isn't going to get paid more anywhere else. TNA, unless they swoop in, offer him a bag, and then Jack Perry goes there, and that would be a felt of AEW. On TNA, that's what TNA should do. That's my fantasy mark. Like, you want to get back at AEW for them sniping all your people, you got to swipe Jack Perry away. You've got to hit them where it fucking hurts, okay?
Bonus.
And so, unless TNA wants to pay Jack Perry more money, that's not going to happen in NXT. And Tone doesn't have to give him more money, or unless MLW wants to swoop in and give him more money. Doubtful, though. So Tone isn't, or he might give him more money because he's a fucking money mark. And maybe Tony Khan will do it. I actually don't know, okay? Maybe there's a chance that Tone is like, nah, fuck it, I'll give him more money to stay. But Tone can just offer him the same or less. And he should do that. Because that's how you let people know that you can't just mark me in like a fucking money mark. But because all the sheets and the elbows and the self-mades and all these fucking redacts put Tone over like some big fucking Mr. Moneybags ATM, which he is, and then people money mark him in, and then they don't want the court filings to be fucking released, but then Sheamus is a free agent, but then they don't want to bring him in. And it's not just a place people can go get paid, even though Tone just admitted that he did sign more people than he wanted to the last year. And all the people flexed, well, you can get more money. So now they're saying, well, now you can't necessarily go get more money in AEW. Now you can't really go over there and just get all the monies. Now wrestlers are fucked. And people like Jack Perry who beef with CM Punk, they're fucked too. And all these sheets just blew up everybody's spots and made them look fucking stupid. Okay? That's all that it is at the end of the day. So, Elbu says he will most likely stay in AEW, but he would like to get a big raise like most people get when it's time to re-up. I talked to people about this, and the belief is that because, and these guys have the same vernacular as Dave, the belief is that because of the situation in WWE right now, where a lot of these deals are very volatile, where a lot of these deals are not honored, where there's not a lot of space, where a lot of ex-AEW guys go over there and struggle, there's less of an incentive for Tony Khan to overpay people to stay in his company, especially if they're not significant impact players. So they're trying to say that AEW people struggle in WWE. Like who? Like Rhodes or Punk? I guess they were WWE people first, but who? Like Ricky Saints or Royce Keys or Jade Cargill? Like who goes over there and struggles who were in AEW first? Like Blake Monroe? Is that who we're talking about? That's so fucking stupid. So this is the new narrative. Tone's not going to overpay. Okay, then what's the point of going there? He's not going to overpay. He's going to start pinching. He's focusing on building up his own guys that he already has. And so do you want to be on the fucking TNA show? Like this happened at TNA. Who's watching the TNA Dark Side of the Ring? We'll discuss in a sec. But Tony Khan now, he has no incentive to go, oh my God, Jack Perry, please don't go. Please, to NXT, please. Here's $800,000. Yeah, he does, because it's embarrassing for Tone. He may do well, he may not. So Tony is basically taking the approach now of, well, all right, I'm not going to go crazy when these deals are up. And so Jack Perry fucked himself. And again, Phil Marks was right. Jim Cornette was right. All of these people that get called fraudcast grifters and shit were fucking right. Dave was wrong again.
Superstar, babyface, that former heel thing. So
all of the fucking dirt sheets were wrong. Tone was wrong. And I'm right again. And sickos, I deserve fucking apologies.
Just in from Phil Marks of PWT. He says, I told you so.
Because this won't last forever. This cannot last forever. Tone can't keep doing this for fucking ever. And now it's one of the changes people said he should have made early, and he fucking didn't listen. And everybody coped about it and groveled over it, and they want to brag about, they'll sign up anyone. Tone has all the money in the world. Now remember when Dave was like, yep, $3.6 million a week. Now that the money's rolling in, cha-ching, cha-ching, choo-choo train, Brian. You remember that? Now they're like, well, Sheamus is beloved. Sheamus is loved, but it's like, he can't afford it anymore. I mean, now it's Tone's not going to just hand out money. It's no longer ATM Tone. Well, so we're right. It was ATM
The best
Tone,
guy is Tony
right?
Khan.
It's craziness. So in other roster signing, re-signing news, Queen Aminata revealed her AEW contract will expire in, drum roll please, let's take a listen.
With AEW 3 years ago, almost 3 years, because I'm at the end of my
Queen Aminata rules. They just use her as the girl you beat, and then you get a #1 contender shot at the title, or like you beat her, then you get a shot at the TBS title. That's literally all they do with her. She has a great look, great energy. She's good on social media, and she just needs NXT. There's nothing wrong with her. Her work is fine. It's not even green. It's just like, well, I guess like the boys in the business would call it green, I guess still, but it's just like, there's just that missing, I can't, there's no word for it. There's just that missing thing that NXT will give her where she could truly take it to the next level. And, she talks about how she signed 3 years ago and her deal is up. Drum roll, please.
Which is next February.
It's up in February. But her injury time, which I think is like close to a year minimum, will be added onto that.
Injury time, which I don't know how long that's going to be. For the past 2.5 years, I have to say wrestling has been my escape, because when I lost my dad, I lost a lot of feelings. I lost a lot of motivation, and the goal and the dream was to get signed and tell her, you know what, Dad, I made it.
She's doing this on her fucking vlog. This isn't something she's talking about on their show. I don't know. Whoa. Hey, Tone. You like money? Cha-ching, cha-ching. Do you not see this young lady right here? And this story she's telling. And this isn't on your TV show? Whoa. Fucking crazy. And she's been there for years. And Tone just goes, beat her and you get a shot at the TBS. So she needs NXT, Queen Aminata, just whenever the deal's up. So this February, it's a long ass time. You got like a year and a half minimum left in AEW, unless you just politely ask for your release and try your hand, whatever. But she needs to get to NXT, tell this story, do her goddamn thing in NXT, okay? And then you'll see Queen Aminata take it to the next level. She just can't in AEW because Tone doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And, yeah, that's a little insight into the contract action. Speaking of contract action, Jake Roberts has revealed he's no longer with AEW. He says, loved it working for AEW, loved it. I just finished up working for him. Tony Khan, I'm no longer employed by AEW. Tony Khan is awesome. He really is a breath of fresh air. And so I suspect we'll see Jake the Snake Roberts in WWE 2K27 again, because he's been under a Legends deal this whole time with WWE. But Tone, like, we're starting to see him penny pinch. Like, not even Jake Roberts can work a gig out of Tone, can work a job and another contract out of Tone. You know what I'm saying? And so not even Jake Roberts can work Tone. And we're talking about Sheamus can't money mark in Tone. If this is the case, then is the New Day even going to show up in WWE? I heard an allegedly. Oh, yeah. Well, I just stooged it. I meant to say AEW, but I heard an allegedly. WWE allegedly is still very interested in having the New Day in their company. Right? And they're bringing motherfuckers in. Like, if we're to believe the sheets and everything, Enzo, Cass, Corbin clearly just left fucking MLW and whatnot. So it's not like WWE couldn't go to New Day and say, okay, this is where we'll meet you. Here's the dates. It's the same kind of money, or maybe here's a little bit more. Here's the dates. We need you to work like all the house shows, though, or whatever. Maybe like here's less dates. And like we see a big program with Enzo and Cass or something. Like, who fucking knows? Who knows? But with that, I'm not saying Jake the Snake's going to show up or anything. I'm just saying, if Tone's pinching, is New Day even going there? If they don't care about signing Sheamus and shit, then what's really going on? And you have Alba, Marks like Alba going, they should bring Sheamus in and recreate the bar in AEW. Fucking hacks. Yeah. But we're starting to see, man, the contract situation in AEW is looking a little different, and there's some turmoil with the talent. So Lance Archer, who we just saw on TV, because Tone's throwing him a pity fuck, let's be honest. Lance Archer's been putting out a lot of tweets saying, hey, and he's not shitting on AEW in any way. And we've chronicled this here at PWT. All the wrestlers who have said things like, hey, I can go. Hey, can we get on TV? Butcher and Blade, Deonna Purrazzo, fucking Taya Valkyrie, John Morrison. They've said it in interviews. They've tweeted out, hey, I can work. I'm ready to work. If the fans want me to work, I'm here to work and shit. Max Caster, we don't even know if he's still in AEW. He's talking about, hey, this other Beyond Wrestling or whatever, this indie fed 1PW, that's where you see me wrestle every week now. And it's like, what? So Lance Archer Says, hey, AEW, I can still do this shit. And it's him pouncing Will Ospreay, who's just selling like garbage, too. Like, he sells like straight ass because it's the facials and shit he doesn't have down. But it's Archer just snapping in New Japan, and he's like, I can still do all this. Now he's on the Beach Break show, just like sitting there with Callis. It's like, of course. Tone just throws him a little pity fuck. But Lance Archer, whenever his deal comes up, I don't see him getting re-signed. I don't see him getting re-signed at all. Whenever his shit comes up. And that's not me hating on Archer, but if that's what Tone's starting to do, okay, they're not signing everybody. And it sucks that Sheamus bets on himself and then he has to hear from Meltzer and all these fucktard dirt sheets go, oh yeah, no, AEW doesn't want him. AEW doesn't want him. It's like, what the fuck, man? But let me say this, though. Sheamus, or just call him Shaughnessy, whatever, in TNA versus Nick Nemeth, that would fucking rule, right? And speaking of TNA, Mike Santana, he wrapped up his contract with TNA at TNA Slammiversary, and he posted this on Instagram or on social media 7/15, which some people are predicting is him showing up at Dynamite and for AEW, because that's on a Wednesday, I believe, right? That's next week's Dynamite. So people believe this is a tease of him showing up in AEW. Now, in my opinion, I don't think Mike Santana would do that because there was a legit blow up between him and Angel Ortiz over Tone not using them. And you got to remember, LAX was hot going into AEW. And I mean, they weren't as hot as like one point in TNA and whatnot, but they were hot going in and they got over. Like, people wanted to see more of them, and they were involved in some of the bigger like match type angles and shit. Like, they were involved with Jericho and his crew and all of that stuff. And they never really got the push that a lot of people thought they would, and a lot of people thought they deserved. And again, with WWE blowing up AAA in the lucha market, you know, you had Tone working with CMLL, and it's like you have the Lucha Bros in LAX at one point, or they were Pride and Powerful, whatever. Like, you could have been having crazy Latino fucking representation on your show and like fucking running with the whole CMLL crossover shit before the Fed, but you fucking fumbled it, man. And Santana escaped AEW and bet on himself, and TNA turned him into what he fucking is now. And so if he does show up in AEW for like a massive amount of money, like way more money than he's ever seen or will get in NXT/WWE or whatever, good for him. But he has to know Tone won't do shit with him. But if Tone's penny pinching, I think this is a swerve, and Santana knows this is a swerve. I think what's going to happen is on Wednesday, he is going to announce some shit or like sign his fucking WWE contract, and everyone's going to go, oh shit, and he'll drop it on socials, and then that'll trend over Dynamite. And it's a swerve from WWE, because I just don't think he would go back to be stuck in creative limbo once more in AEW. Like, I don't think he trusts Tone's direction unless Tone has called him up and made it clear that he fucked up and he's going to make things better, right? And so I want to listen to Mick Foley here. So Mick Foley's come out to interview Fletcher. What a fucking waste of Foley. Holy shit. Guys, hit like, hit subscribe, hit retweet, hit heart, all that good shit. Become a member for only 99 cents. Patreon.com/ProWrestleTimes. Or you can give some memberships or super chat in. We're taking a break from the news here just to check out what Foley's doing. We have to lock in. What a waste of Foley, though, chat. And yeah, come say hello in chat and stuff like that and vote in the poll. We have a poll going. So Mick Foley's just putting over Fletcher. So Foley has custom painted shoes. They have his dog on his shoes. He has his dog on his shoes. Those doggone shoes. Mick Foley took a long way of getting there, but that was a funny foot up the ass joke. Or bit, if you will. Just what a waste of Foley, though. He's eyeing down Fletcher like he will stand up and fight Fletcher. Foley's a decrepit old man, dude. I'm just so mean. He's banged up. Kevin Knight's so lame since turning heel. They did the heel turn good, but the whole... He's terrible. Kevin Knight's fucking terrible as a heel, guys. He's terrible. The problem with AEW is everybody just big dogs everybody. MJF, or pardon me, Mick Foley was just big dogging Fletcher, and then Kevin Knight comes out and just big dogs them both, and then Foley just dips out. So is Foley just gone? Did Foley just dip out? Like, what a fucking terrible segment. What the fuck is going on here? And then Andrade's coming out. Okay, so just shout out Andrade, but more nonsense. So we share this. Okay, so Maxwell Jacob Friedman, when the news that Sheamus was leaving WWE, of course, MJF had to jump in and go, bring that smoke, O'Shaughnessy. Right? And Sheamus, I think his Twitter's gone or some shit like that, but the tweet was deleted, and MJF goes, the guy you alluded to, stop now, I'm going to devour you. So he's talking about Sheamus or whatever, and MJF is like, yeah, come to AEW. But then all the sheets are like, nope, they don't want to hire him. There's no way they're going to hire him. And you know that they're not like they don't want to make themselves look stupid. This is why the dirt sheets always fuck up, because if they say nope, he won't hire them to help Tone stooge it, then they look like they're fucking wrong, and they can't have that. And that's why Dave fucked up and stooged the Kenny Omega shit 2 times, because he can't also look like he's wrong. He has to be like, nope, I said it and it was right. Right? Especially when it comes to AEW, because they get told everything. But again, MJF, like the only time anybody's talking about AEW is when they're talking about WWE. And of course, he jumps on bringing Sheamus. But then the dirt sheets go, nope, he's not getting fucking signed. There's no way Tone signs him. Blah, blah, blah. So it just makes everybody look fucking stupid. And it's like, fuck what these dirt sheets are talking about, because MJF would know. And if he wants the match and can convince Tone, Tone will fucking do it. But nobody wants that either. And like MJF is grasping at relevance. Every person from WWE that's left recently, MJF puts out a tweet about them. And everything that happens in WWE, MJF puts out a tweet about it. Like this one here. He dropped the Hulk Hogan when Punk won the title. And it's like, MJF, buddy, you need to just go to WWE. You're clearly not even interested in what's going on in AEW. Okay. So here's MJF's tweet about Hulk Hogan. And this was alluding to CM Punk, how he came in and CM Punk fucking took the match for Cody Rhodes and won the title, the way Hogan took the match for Bret Hart and won the title from Yokozuna. And then MJF deleted this. And it's like, buddy, just hurry up and go to WWE already. If this is what you're going to do, all you're going to do is cry about WWE, talk about WWE, bring up WWE whenever you want a match or a big match. You want to call out Sheamus or you want to call out New Day and the people who leave WWE. That's who's going to give you your big match. It's like, just hurry up and go there. Just quit this goddamn show already. Quit Dynamite, quit Tony Khan, quit shilling and shit. Just hurry up and get to WWE, because you're wasting time. You're becoming less relevant. People think his act's becoming stale. And it's like nobody, even AEW and all the dirt sheets don't want to see Sheamus go to AEW. So you better hurry up and delete that story as well. Now, just to go back to Dynamite, that was an exploding skateboard that I fucking saw. So we are like 3 steps away from them doing a pigeon out of someone's ass. Darby Allin literally just did a fucking ta-da magic trick with an exploding skateboard. Okay? We're like 2 bits away in AEW from somebody like pulling a pigeon out of their asshole or something. I don't even know what to say. It's just so cringy and so disappointing. Like, this is crazy. I have to tweet about this because it's just straight madness. That was the corniest shit I've ever seen. So in other AEW roster contract news, Niccolo Piccolo, who's Sheamus's agent, told Tony Khan good luck negotiating after AEW interest reports. And I don't know if these dirt sheets are reporting, like Niccolo Piccolo came up under my tweet and was like, yeah, good luck with fucking, or who his agent is or whatever. And he's like, I'm his agent. I'm Sheamus's agent. And so this also could be why, conspiracy theory, this could be why they're like, nope, Tone isn't going to sign Sheamus. Is because Sheamus is represented by Niccolo Piccolo. I'm willing to bet on that, okay? And Niccolo Piccolo said, don't piss off the snowman or the dirt sheets. Tone definitely doesn't influence. Did he? Oh, yeah, Tone definitely doesn't influence and in some cases control. Won't say your name. Congrats on Booker of the Year. Now, good luck negotiating with the person you made them afraid to write about. Yeah, they would have to think. They would have to think how to unblock me. And so, shout out Niccolo Piccolo. He, of course, like responded to me and was like, yeah, they don't know who his agent is either. And then that's where that caught traction. And then that's where Nick started responding to people and saying shit like, yeah, he's going to have to negotiate with me. And I think this could be why the dirt sheets are like, dude, they are not going to sign Sheamus because Tone doesn't want to deal with Nick. And they'll have to write about Paradigm and Rare Standard. I don't know if Sheamus is he's probably with Paradigm. I actually don't know, but they'll have to write about like Rare Standard and shit. And they don't want to fucking do that. And this could be Tone's like vengeful way of being like, no, Jesus, what would Jesus do? He'd be kind. But Tone doesn't want to negotiate or with Nick and sign fucking Sheamus. It could be that too. And it could be Tone really wants Sheamus and MJF really wants Sheamus. But again, because people don't know how to do business and these dirt sheets are crybaby fucking sweeper shills, it might just fuck everything up business-wise for Tone when he needs his business to pick up now more than ever. And so that's a conspiracy theory if you guys want to go in that direction too. It might just be Tone avoiding it completely and having the dirt sheets go, no, he won't even negotiate with Sheamus because you know what? Tone's not throwing all that money around anymore. But that's just a cop-out lie reasoning so that Tone saves face while not having to deal with Nick over Sheamus and stuff like that. Which I think that's contract tampering. Lock them all up in prison, okay? On this side of the courtroom, Sheamus wants to mark in a money mark. But Tone says he don't frick with Nick. So there you go. Speaking of Tone, okay? He talked about the reason that he's done a number of AEW World Championship matches on weekly television this year. And let's take a listen here. Shout out Chicago's Alternative 01 Alternative or whatever.
The top stars fighting each other in huge matches and big rivalries. And to me, this has been...
They're not that huge. They're not that big.
Some of the best AEW TV ever. It's certainly some of the most world championship defenses and major main events that we've ever...
Tone says that every year, major main events and the best year of television ever. He says that every year. Major main events, maybe you're doing more world title matches. That's cool. That's all good.
Had
but it's just desperate. It's just like now you going back to, and it is being the alternative of WWE where they're world champions, like you build up to big money matches and shit. But with that being said, Punk is back like full time again. He's always been full time since his return. He just took a few months. He just took like a couple months off for summer vacation, few months off, whatever, and to get jacked up like you do before your world title run. But he's a week in, week out guy. Like he'll be defending that title on SmackDown more frequently. And there needs to be a good balance and you got to tell stories. And Tone is just doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on, we'll just do title matches all the fucking time. Okay.
Calendar year, and we're only halfway into the year. And I do think that having great wrestlers, you mentioned Darby Allin, also you have to give a lot of credit to MJF, who's been a fighting champion, much more so than previous incarnations of MJF, by the way. And I do think that...
No, it's not previous incarnations. Like these guys are such marks. They view it as like fucking, or at least Tone is such a mark. He just views it as like a video game. Well, his gimmick's different. This is a different incarnate. No, it's the same. It's the exact same guy it's been for 7 years.
Having all these great championship fights on Dynamite, on Collision, on the major events, and having the very best pay-per-views, our fans are having their cake and eating it too. You get the very best on TV. And
that's just not a good thing.
And a great wrestling product for the fans who can't necessarily afford the pay-per-views that you can certainly...
So then why would anybody go to the pay-per-views? Right? That's what Tone doesn't understand. He's just so backwards. Like the whole point is we need people. And here's the problem, right? The cheapest ticket for Dynamite's like $30 to $40. The cheapest ticket to the pay-per-views are $40 to $50. And then everything ends up getting discounted anyways. So Who can't afford to go to Redemption for 53, but can afford to go to Dynamite for 48 or whatever the fuck? Like, this is just complete and utter lies and coke.
Expect to get such a high standard watching AEW on weekly TV, Wednesdays on TBS, Saturdays on TNT, or streaming everything on HBO Max. And I think
but he gives us like the best shows, but like it's not, because he's even saying it. His business goal is just give people shit for free on TV that they'll get on the pay-per-views too. So then what's the difference? It's almost like fuck going to Dynamite. This is why Dynamite's fallen off and the pay-per-views do better numbers. Because why would you go to Dynamite? Just wait and go to the pay-per-view. Might cost $10 more, and then you'll see crazy-ass wrestling. I don't want to go to Dynamite, see crazy-ass wrestling, and then your shitty, poorly written out and thought out backstage segments with exploding skateboards.
There are some fans that necessarily maybe can't buy every pay-per-view, and they still are getting great wrestling every week. And the cool thing about the AEW pay-per-views, they're worth it. I try to put out...
But they're not, and you just explained how they're not, because you're saying that you get the same bang for your buck going to a Dynamite. So they're really, literally not, and you just explained why.
Incredible pay-per-view every time, because I never want to take for granted the people spending the money on the tickets or on the pay-per-view and delivering at an even higher standard than the incredibly high standard that we try to hold ourselves to week in terms of delivering great matches. And
exploding skateboards is, and he just goes, well, in terms of the great matches. Okay. I guess.
Great.
If you say so.
Episodes of wrestling television. So that is the goal. And I think through these past few years, I think we've been doing a very strong job of promoting big title fights. And now this year more than ever, there's been a lot of big world championship matches on AEW TV. And it feels like for the last couple of years, the quality of the TV continues to deliver at maybe the highest level ever in AEW.
These are the boringest, most repetitive fucking, hey buddy, case low. Cut this motherfucker off. Yes, you let your guest speak. I get that, right? All these people just mark out about having Tone on their show, and so they just let him ramble on. Tone's not the guy you get the best convo out of by letting him speak. Some people, that's the best convo. You let them speak and flesh out all of their shit, no matter what. Some people like Tone, especially with his limited time, that he's not giving you an hour. You're lucky if you get fucking 20 minutes with the man, which is fair. You have to fucking stop him from babbling the same repeat bullshit. You know why, too? Because he's going to go repeat this shit on every fucking show and every press conference and every single thing he does. So interrupt him and go, okay, now, year over year, things would indicate the opposite. Now, I know we get these pay-per-view buys numbers. Dave Meltzer's the only one who confirms these numbers. He's not the most legitimate source in 2026. Regardless how you feel about him, what would you say? Like, can you give us any insight? You have to know the max numbers, no, Tone? Can you give us insight on what the pay-per-views are really doing, even from a max perspective? And then he goes, well, I don't know the max numbers. And you go, you own the company but don't know the max numbers? Don't you think that that would be important information, or is it just something you're not trying to make known, right? Like, you can push back a little bit and you can go down that avenue of like actual interesting fucking radio instead of just him babbling. Everything's great. It's great. The best shows. It's always the best shows. I'm the best guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even have to be rude about the shit, but these guys just don't know how to do this.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
And it's no offense to this guy, but like, stop just sitting there trying to look all fucking serious. Like, ask him a question. Stop him from just babbling the same shit over and over.
We've been putting on these fantastic pay-per-views for years, and I do think...
What if you don't feel that way? What if this guy's like, I don't feel like it's been the best run of pay-per-view for years of all time? What if he doesn't feel that fucking way? Do you know what I'm saying? Then you got to stop him and go, well, of course, Like you don't even have to say, you don't even have to stop him there and go, well, I don't think so. But you can just go, yeah, I mean, to each their own. What would you say about the perception that there's a decline? Like there's a way to still like do it without offending them and shit and running them off. So there's a perception out there that there's a decline. Obviously you're adamant there's not. We know that you speak to some of these journalists like Alba and Dave Meltzer. They're certainly convinced you're not, and they're prominent voices in the space. Can you shed any insight on that? Like, is there any proof, or not even, you don't even have to say, is there any proof? I'm just saying what I would say. I'm more forward than most, right? I would say, is there any like evidence we can point to? Like, certainly you know the numbers, right? Even if you don't want it to be known that you know the numbers. Like there's a way, and I'll give Coach and Bro props for, they would at least stop Tone and go, now Tone, let me tell you about TNA wrestling, bro. Right? So speaking of TNA wrestling, who's been watching the Dark Side of the Ring? I've been watching the Dark Side of the Ring, the first 2 episodes on Crave in Canada, which is like WB's streamer in Canada or whatever. The first 2 episodes are up on there. They uploaded the first one on YouTube as well, guys. Vice did, which is a smart move. And they're honey dicking us. Okay, they're teasing us, they're edging us, because next week is the 3rd part of the 3-parter. I see a lot of people like melting down online about how Dark Side of the Ring is full of a bunch of bullshit. Now, other people are questioning, why is Tony Khan on the show? Now, I didn't even see him in the first 2 episodes, but he was in the trailer. He will be in episode 3, right? Now, Tony Khan, guys, is on there because he's the closest thing to Dixie Carter, and Dixie Carter's not on there. Khan. And I'm not joking. Like, how apropos of a Money Mark being on there talking about a company that was ruined largely for a large period of time by a Money Mark, Dixie Carter, right? So that's why he's on there. But he's not on there yet, unless I missed like 1 second of him being on the show, but I don't think he's been on yet. And some people are melting down about like the inaccuracies of the Dark Side of the Ring episode. Now, I don't know about all that. I don't know what's inaccurate about any of this stuff other than like Karen Jarrett clearly putting on a show. And it's largely focused on Jeff Jarrett, and I love that. Now, so far, it's a couple hours of this long story. People are like, well, they skipped over the whole Fox Net era and shit. Who cares? Like, what the fuck does that have to do with any of the story? You know, like, what does that have to do with them getting on Spike and then gaining popularity? Like, they were on TV for a bit. That's like too insider. That's too, like, when you're too close, you got to understand this show. My wife watches this show. My wife is like, oh, you put on Dark Side of the Ring? You know, it's not for the people who are so close to it. And it absolutely is in many ways, but all of the dark sides, you go, that could be a 2 or 3-parter. Like all of them fucking, if you really want to break it down and get into every single thing, but them being on Fox Sports Net or whatever, like what did that do for them other than Spike picked them up and then they started to get popular, you know? So unless there was some shit that went on there, right? Because you want to break everything down, then we got to get into some of the wrestlers who were fucked over. Then we got to get into the Macho Man stuff and how he appeared there, and some wrestlers showed up as shells of themselves. Like there's things like that they could have got into too, but they just went right into the fucking Hulk Hogan stuff because that's what you fucking do, right? Like you gotta tell the story. It's about it like collapsing and where Jeff Jarrett's at now. And I'm sure they're going to put AEW over in the end of this shit, even though AEW fucked with TNA. And hopefully they talk about it in Dark Side, how AEW went on their TV and used their TV to take shots at WWE, popped a rating for them in a pay-per-view, but fucking fucked them over in the long run and are currently actively fucking TNA over right now. Right, but they're not. They're going to put it over a bit because Jeff Jarrett now works in AEW, and that's his triumphant story. Now Tone pays him, right? But Karen Jarrett, though, is clearly like I don't even know how they convinced me to be on TV. And it's like, this bitch has been on TV the last fucking 10 years. You know, she's in AEW running around doing Texas Chainsaw death matches and stuff. So what are we really talking about here, you know? So as far as that's concerned, I'm enjoying the show, and I don't get triggered too much by like them skipping over some things. They have to do that. You have to just jump into these other things. Now, if somebody wants to put together a fucking 8-disc TNA Dark Side of the Ring style documentary, like, I'll buy it. You know what I mean? I can't wait. Get into the ups and downs, the all arounds, right? But even the rise and fall of ECW, which was like, what, a 2.5, 3 hour documentary about ECW, even that left a bunch of shit out. And that was like, I know it was made by WWE, but even that had to leave some fucking things out. So Vince Russo and Jim Cornette going back and forth and them talking about the backstage turmoil. Like, I could listen to 3 hours of just that, right? There's 3 hours of just that they could go through. So I'm not too worried about like, oh, they skipped over this, or they, you know, because they put over Kurt Angle huge too, but it's like, okay, Samoa Joe was cooking. Jeff Hardy's getting like no love, but you know he's going to get buried for being drugged out on TV. And Bischoff having to go out there and fucking like, you know, that's coming up. But like Jeff Hardy deserves a lot of credit for that shit too. You know, there's a lot of people who went there and did make a difference. And a lot of the guys that were like homegrown guys who should get more credit than they are. Like, it's just them talking about WWE guys mostly and shit. So anyways, Jeff Jarrett was on the Ariel Helwani show and he talked about Tony Khan and why he's thrived in the wrestling business, to tie this whole segment together, right? And here's what Jeff Jarrett had to say. Shout out the Ariel Helwani show, the boys in the back, Uncrowned, I think is what they're called, Uncrowned Media or whatever the fuck. Maybe that's something else. And shout out Jeff Jarrett, who I find incredibly endearing. Him telling the story about his wife. My wife was bawling. And Jeff Jarrett, I've always liked Jeff Jarrett. People think he's critical of WWE. He's always been critical of WWE. He held the WWE hostage. He's the first guy after WCW died to pull his dick out and go, look how big it is. We're fucking batting. We're going for homers here. Like, we're going to try and take it to WWE. He says it in Darkside. We were going to try and take it to WWE as the alternative. We were going to try and become the number one shit. You know, like Kurt Angle believed it. People were bought in for a long time. Like, Jeff Jarrett was the guy to do that. I've always respected him. I always liked the corny shit. Don't piss me off. I was a kid when he was hitting people in the head with guitar shots. So I wasn't an adult Mark being like, and I'm not hating on adult Marks or Smarks at the time, but that really first gen of like internet Smarks who's like, fuck Jeff Jarrett. He goes into business for himself. I loved to hate Jeff Jarrett and his reign of terror. I loved to hate Triple H. I hated Jeff Jarrett and Triple H and JBL so fucking much when I was younger. When I was a young boy, JBL really pissed me off. And so did Jeff Jarrett. I fucking hated them all. But when I look back on that, I'm like, dude, I don't hate nobody like that anymore because I like don't believe. It's still real to me, damn it. I don't believe like I did back then, like I do in Joe Hendry, right? And I loved to hate those motherfuckers and their reigns of terror, right? So I don't care about their politicking, whatever. If there was no Jeff Jarrett, there was no TNA. End of story. End of fucking story. Because if it wasn't Jerry Jarrett that he partnered with, he would have found it with someone else. Dixie Carter was right there for years. He talks about it in Darkside. Dixie Carter was right there. They didn't even fucking realize that she was like down and wanted to get in the business and all this shit. And she was right there. So by hook or by crook, and Jeff Jarrett is going to praise Tone. But as we were talking about before, Tone's stuck in a loop and shit gets revealed here about Jarrett being a talent. And if Tone was smart, Jeff Jarrett would be utilized way more prominently and effectively than Big Show is. I mean, here's Big Show on Dynamite. He came out before the show. Let's just look at this. Before the big show tonight at Beach Break, and he just punched some job in the face or whatever. So they're punching him. Like, they could be doing this with Big Show. He could be the GM of a show. And then like Nick Aldis, when he finally decides to, I'm going to knock someone out, he could be the enforcer. It's kind of cool how there's people just on the lawn going, oh shit, there's wrestlers over there. Like, that's cool, you know? This is actually a cool setup. I love this. But Big Show's just out here, like, doing his shit. Let's hear the slap. And, like, yes, it's a nostalgia act, and yes, I like this. Fucking Jarrett, do the Jarrett show and have them team up. I'm joking. That's hack, because that's like Jarrett show, right? That's the joke. But, or that's the what I'm aiming for, right? But obviously don't do that. However, Jeff Jarrett's the GM of Collision. Big Show's the GM of Dynamite. When they both eventually step in the ring, who fucking knows? Jeff Jarrett could be more of a nostalgia act. I hope he was paraded out here as well. And I'm not against this, but why isn't this like on the TV show? And then save Fletcher and Takeshita for the goddamn pay-per-view. Like, try and sports entertain people. I don't know. Just an idea. Maybe that's hack, but that's what WWE would do. And I'm not saying you got to be exactly like WWE, but WCW would do that too. TNA would do that too. And they were seeing success. They did 2 million people on TV at one point. So here's Jeff Jarrett putting over Tone, but then he reveals some stuff about Tone as well in our next clip.
What is Tony doing well, Tony Khan doing well that perhaps you guys didn't do? Why is it working for AEW and Tony Khan?
The billions of billions are just him. Literally, Ariel Helwani. I love you, buddy. And he is asking a good question. And again, Ariel's interview is for like people who might not be the most hardcore wrestling fans. So it's good that he asks a question like this and he frames it this way to get the most complete answer from Jeff Jarrett's side of things. Again, he does journalism. People might get triggered by it. Oh, what is he, a dumbass? In Dark Side of the Ring, though, it is revealed. It's because of a power struggle with money, people getting frozen out. It's Dixie Carter calling shots. Jeff Jarrett didn't call all the shots. He didn't have billions. That's why Tone is quote unquote successful. He spends the money and answers to nobody, even if he does answer to WBD, which he tried to cope and say he doesn't really, but he does answer to WBD if we're to believe the Jay Briscoe and the Trey Miguel shit. So that's why, though, like, even if Tone defies WBD and they kick him off, AEW will still exist because Tone will just fund it, take the hit, and then try and get another TV deal. That's the difference. Sorry, let's let Jeff Jarrett answer. But I also want to explain that, which Jeff Jarrett's too nice to say that because he works for Tone, so he's not going to say that side of it. But also, don't get mad that Ariel, because I see people just going at Ariel now because he has AEW people on. It's like, guys, chill. He has all the different wrestlers on. He has Cross too. Cross is in MLW. Ariel phrases the question this way to get a complete answer out of Jeff Jarrett and give him the opportunity to maybe even touch on what I said while also putting Tone over. Let's take a listen.
And there was so much, there was so much tumultuous stuff happening in TNA back in the day. What's the difference, if any?
This is going to sound real simple. But to me, you can go back and look over history. Who does Tony answer to?
I had a feeling you would say that.
Oh, dude.
That's it, right?
He answers to himself.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying.
I didn't even fucking realize that was going to be his answer when I bookmarked this clip.
And me, I had,
yep.
When I was answering just to Bob Carter, and I'm not talking about the rest of the band, just to Bob, not Janice, just to Bob. It was a relationship. And Janice slowly got involved. Then Dixie, then Dallas. Dallas used to send back receipts on Sharpie, autograph deal when we're doing it. But I get it. I'm not complaining. But anyway, I think that Tony's ability to implement, and I think he talked on this show that, He's a fantastic guy.
Yeah, this is what I thought I bookmarked, is him going, the best guy, the fantastic guy, like, you know, saying Tone's the best guy like everybody does. But Jeff Jarrett, there you go. He answers to himself. And Vince used to do that too, and that's when people say WWE was prime.
And he taking input from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people. Look, I'm guilty of it. Anybody who's sat in the chair is guilty of it. But when you can implement your vision and the direction you're going, it's a game changer. I mean, you look at WCW versus Vince McMahon in the 90s. The real, you can drill it down and say the NWO petered out, or Austin got hot. At the end of the day, to me, the deciding factor was Vince against corporate. He kicked their ass. And I think that is the single thing that really, I'm proud of Tony. I'm not afraid to say that. I'm very proud of Tony implementing his vision, because
yeah, he is right about WCW getting their ass kicked because of corporate at the end of the day. When they were hot, though, it was also corporate was a part of things, and that's always going to fuck shit up. It always is, and that's what fucked TNA as well. And so because of Tone's infinite bank account, but he won't say that. He's like, I'm proud of Tony. For what? Being like a uber billionaire, born into like an uber bill. You should be proud of his dad. But Jeff Jarrett is, you know, he never really buries anybody. He never really goes off on anyone. And we know that he'll bite the bullet. And he got on a private plane with Dixie to go sign off on his own fucking demise with Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff, if we're to believe Dark Side of the Ring. And so in this clip, Jeff Jarrett explains that right now he's just a talent in AEW.
So right now your role for them is strictly talent.
Yeah, just on screen, yes. Whether it's a wrestler.
Yeah, nothing behind the scenes.
Nothing.
No interest in that?
Oh, I mean, ask Karen. I am actively involved. Jeff Fisher of the NFL, Tennessee Titans. He was on me for about 2 years, but I'm part of the Nashville Cats. It's arena football team. I help with part of that management group. Golden Rule Entertainment. We have 3 minor league baseball teams. So my entrepreneurial spirit will never go away. So yeah, I'm always looking at different things. I would love the opportunity. I think the international market in professional wrestling, for the most part, is still untapped. It's still a U.S. product exported. And you know, both companies do it very, very well. I mean, ITV, you know, John Williams at ITV, you look at the success AEW has had there. But for the most part, wrestling is a U.S.-based product exported. I think, and I've said this a number of different ways. India has 3 generations of wrestling fans now. The UK, 4 maybe. You could probably even go back further than that. But there are markets around the globe. South America is completely untapped, that they've had professional wrestling, but not their native promotion. And
the problem with India is, like, you have to figure out how to tap the market, but like if you're America based, the cost and going to India and all of these things logistically, it's a fucking nightmare, and financially it's a nightmare. But then in India, you're not going to get like people spending the big bucks, right? It's good for like social media impressions and shit like that. Okay. So you have to figure out, like, how does India like fully financially make sense to where it's like we're America based, but we're like really growing this audience, as opposed to like the UK or America or Canada that'll spend the big bucks like TKO or China, you know. At least on WWE's front, I don't know with Tone, it is what it is. He signed Satnam Singh, I guess. That's
think
that's his way of doing
there
it.
is a massive opportunity out there. I'd love to do a nice cap raise, and you know, I mean, there's really a frontier out there that could make a lot of money.
But yeah, he's just signed on as a talent in AEW.
So right now,
you're with a mind like that, you would think that Jeff Jarrett would have Tone's ear a little bit more, I would say, and maybe Tone would partner up with a Jeff Jarrett. But I think in Tone's mind, Tone's a fucking mark, and he's a message board mark, and so he believes like the message board shit about Jeff Jarrett back in the day. And if he teams up with Jeff Jarrett and Jeff Jarrett starts helping blow up the company and the company starts turning shit around, then the credit goes to Jeff Jarrett. And Tone's like Dixie Carter. He is. It's the same thing in Darkside. Like Dixie didn't want all the credit going to Jeff Jarrett. And so Tone is like that. And he doesn't even like saying people, he's like, I'm back to just booking things myself. He doesn't even like people thinking that anyone has his ear, even if it's the right or wrong people. And so Tone won't do that. But Jeff Jarrett, I think, would help him substantially. Or if Tone was smart, he fucking invests in Jeff Jarrett's Fed, Global Force Wrestling, or whatever the fuck, don't call it that, but whatever the fuck he wants to do. And maybe that's a future thing. But then if Tone creates a competitor for himself by accident, like Jeff Jarrett's a better mind than Tone overall. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was AEW news. And that was Tony Khan.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
So we're watching this like Casino Gauntlet or the Survivor Gauntlet or whatever the fuck. It's just the same as the Casino Gauntlet. And Willow Nightingale's back. And I don't know who's going to win this thing. But isn't this for the TBS title? And didn't Willow vacate the TBS title? And then whoever's on commentary is like, I wonder if she was ever even injured. So is my timeline correct on this? Willow vacated the title to then come back and try and win the title, right? Or does the winner get a shot at Tekla? I should have been paying more attention this episode. I don't know. This match is totally, it's been whatever so far. I'm more just watching the physical action. So who got eliminated? Or no, Willow just won it. Okay. All right. So it's a shot at the... So at Redemption, it's Willow versus Tekla. If they have Willow beat Tekla so that Willow can fight Monet at All In, holy man. That's going to be crazy. I think you got to run Tekla and Monet. Try and make somebody with Tekla. Chat, are you guys watching this AEW? Shout out to everybody tuned in to this show this evening. I love you all. Hit heart and retweet and all that good shit. Check out patreon.com/ProWrestleTimes. Become a member. Gift a membership. And yeah, Tekla's whooping that ass. She's about to hit Willow with the title. Oh, and then there's Monet. And then you have two ladies standing on the ramp. So Monet's rocking with the Divine Dominion, Cross and Bane. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that, but Willow comes back after injury, wins this fuckity fuck match, and then just gets laid out. And it's like, okay, you can't just give her 1 week and then do this whole layout angle next week and have a moment where we just seen 15 fucking women wrestle in this countdown rumble shit. And then we see 2 women run out and beat the shit out of 2 other women. And you go, oh, and they're with Monet and Tekla and all them. Like Tekla beats up Willow and then blah, 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 blah. You couldn't just have Willow win. And then next week, Willow comes out to talk about her win, or we'll hear from Willow. And then, like, that's when Bane and Cross come out and beat her down. And then fucking Monet's with them and blah, 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 blah. Like, you can space this shit out. Instead, they just stuffed like 4 things into that one thing, like usual. Disappointing, to say the least. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of disappointing, here's a live performance from Chris Jarrett. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for WWE. So recently, The Rock was on the red carpet for the live-action Moana, which I don't know why you'd make live-action Moana already. Just seems weird, but this guy showed up and showed off a image of Peter Maivia in like an old wrestling magazine or something, and The Rock spotted it and was like, oh shit. It's a high cheat.
I got you. Wow, look at that, man. Wow. Let me see. You see these? Oh my God. Wow.
I mean, those do rule.
Was this for me? This is from Britain. Oh my God! Yeah, my grandfather used to wrestle here, man, in London. This is crazy. Peter Fontaine in my view. Is the inspiration for Molly?
Yeah, exactly. And then actually for your mum.
For my mom.
I met your mum at Dallas WrestleMania.
Yeah.
We had a chat about your grandfather.
Wow.
And I told her about the magazines.
Yeah.
And she said she'd love to see them someday.
I'm going to carry these to her, and I'm going to give these to her. I'm going to make it very ceremonial.
That'd be brilliant.
This is going to mean so much to her. It means so much to me. Thank you. What's your name? What's your name?
Stephen.
Stephen. Thank you, Stephen.
Oh, you're welcome.
Let me see your phone. Let's get a picture. Turn this around.
So I don't know. What do you guys think? A lot of people hate on The Rock, but I mean, that's cool. You know, I don't know why they make live action Moana and shit though. Like, didn't that stuff just come out as the trailer for it plays right now? Yeah, Moana's pretty good though, I guess, right? If you're fucking 2. No, I'm joking. It's fun for the family, right? But the animated version's all animated, and then I'm watching the trailer literally right now, and it's just like a cartoon itself because of all the CGI. So I don't know why you just don't watch the fucking animated version.
Here we go. All right, ready? It's a video, but I'm taking pictures. This ain't AI. This is me and Steven. Just gave me this incredible gift. I'm really so moved by this. Thank you, brother. Oh, you're welcome.
And then everybody else wants his attention. Dwayne, 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 Dwayne. So more from the red carpet of Moana live action. We see here Cody Rhodes was there. The Rock and Cody Rhodes meet at the premiere of the live action Moana. And The Rock's like, where's Mama Rhodes? He was about to take his belt off and start whooping that ass. You know what I'm saying? And also, who else pulled up? Seth Rollins pulled up with their daughter and Becky Lynch. Or his daughter and Becky Lynch, obviously his wife, their daughter. And so they were invited. That's awesome. No pictures of them with The Rock. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure they chatted it up and everything like that. And that's some good stuff. In other wrestling, WWE wrestler news, we have this main event going down between Kenny Omega and MJF, Time Cop. Okay, and I think, gotta lock in and watch this. It's obviously going to go for an overrun. And then Jack Perry just re-signs with AEW like everybody knew he was going to. Oh, my God. Okay, so Kenny Omega's coming out to take on MJF. And we are going to see who wins this shit. And it might be Kenny's time, dude. Like, might be his time again. And we will see if they pull, like, was that WWE? Like, who had it planned first? Why did both companies do a fucking title switch like that? MJF's coming out. His leg is all bandaged up. We're going to lock in for this match, and then we'll do some WWE news and whatnot. Some more WWE news. But yeah, how many of you guys are going to go see Moana live action? Like, is that this big cultural phenomenon, the live action version of it? Or is it just like, no, it's cooler as a CGI thing? What else have I seen? I watched Dark Side. I feel like I watched the Backrooms, chat. I watched Backrooms. Really fucking good. More psychological and mysterious than anything, but really fucking good and weird. Okay. MJF takes the thing. Who are his trunks a nod to, or is that just his own steez? Oh my God. He just called them racist and incestors. Are you fucking joking me? He's losing this match so badly. So is that a Bam Bam Bigelow nod? Yeah, I have to see Supergirl. I saw Backrooms Rules, Spider-Man. I cannot fucking wait. You know it's gonna rule ass, dude. Even with cringe Mark Ruffalo in it. I think MJF's trunks are a nod to Bam Bam Bigelow. Ray J's World has been a member for 12 months. So Kenny just flies in. They're trading punches. Crowd's booing MJF. He literally called the crowd. He made Justin Roberts say, not from Florida, the state or the city of fucking, because whatever city they're in or whatever. He said the city, and then he goes, the city of rapists not rapists, sorry, racists and incests or whatever the fuck. Not one person voted in the poll for MJF. Is it really that fucking obvious that Omega's gonna win? Okay, so they're outside the ring. There's no count out, I guess. And we already had Jericho bleeding in the first match. Chat saying, I wonder if they'll bleed for no reason. I'm sure there'll be more blood. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Okay, so they're brawling out in the crowd. I'll call the action chat. I'm calling the action here from PWT Live, AEW. Phil Marks here, PWT Live, watching AEW Dynamite. Good old J. Ross can't be out there. So let me take over. So MJF's just thrown over the chairs and everybody's just cheering and chanting around them, taking pictures. Kenny's brawling MJF in the chairs. Now this is kind of awesome. Like, this is two AEW OGs. Like, this is what people wanted to see, I think, before we got here to this point, to where it's like, okay, where are they even going to exist after this Paramount merger and shit? But maybe if they turn things around, shows like this are cool. I think overall this show was kind of boring, but largely a success visually, I guess, and like story beats wise, but also just shitloads of unnecessary stuff, I would say, with the whole sand in the fucking ring and Jericho bleeding and then the Willow getting jumped and then Monet coming in and jumping her and then Tekla and fucking just doing so much of that. You can do one of those things, milk it, make it mean more, stretch it out. This does feel like a big heavyweight fight. I don't like that Ospreay was kind of brawling with MJF earlier. I hope it's not a triple threat at fucking All In. Kenny, MJF, Ospreay. That would suck balls, but it could be where they're going with this. And if Kenny wins here, then he defends at Redemption then? Or does MJF beat him in Canada? In a rematch. Like, I just feel as though MJF, I'm going to lock a vote in for MJF because this has always been my thoughts on it, but I could be wrong. Right? The whole fucking layout from Dave Meltzer made me think that MJF's going to somehow leave with the belt here. And then he's going to lose it at Redemption like was initially planned or whatever. So, because if Dave and Bry were just sitting there matter-of-factly talking about, well, Kenny's just going to drop the belt. Kenny's just going to lose it. Kenny's like, you know, they just matter-of-factly like, or pardon me, MJF's going to lose it. Kenny's going to win it. Pardon me. They're like, MJF's going to lose it. Kenny's winning for sure. Kenny's winning for sure and all this shit. The way they just matter-of-factly said that, I don't know, man. It just makes me go, they're trying to swerve us. They're trying to help in the swerve with Tony Khan or something. Because why would they just matter-of-factly say that like that and spoil it so blatantly? Just seems like a crazy thing to do. So MJF just dipped out, or pardon me, Kenny Omega dipped out and MJF followed him outside the ring, I guess. Is the better way to word this. They're brawling on the stage. There's no countouts. It's the ref's discretion. They kind of said, hey, look, they're not going to do a countout when it's such a big stakes match, but like they never do countouts for anything. So we go, okay, that's not true if you watch it every week, but all right. And then you already had Jericho playing in the sand and shit. Jericho's like, I need to get some in my match. So they had a bucket with sand, but this is epic. Kenny moonsault off the fucking lifeguard's chair. Oh my God. That's how Excalibur's calling it. But yeah, I think it was just too goddamn obvious the way that Dave and Bry were just matter-of-factly saying Kenny was going to win this shit, to where I still don't buy it. I think MJF will pull it off, and then Kenny just wins that Redemption. And he's wearing, like, Redemption gear. It seems like this was the gear he was going to, but maybe he wins it because he's wearing this gear. Because this is, like, the theme of the pay-per-view, the gold and the blue and the white. And maybe I'm looking too much into this, but it seems like this is what he was going to wear at Redemption to win the title, but he's just wearing it tonight because I don't know. I genuinely don't know. That's a good thing. That is a good thing. Oh my God, that was just a vicious drop kick. If MJF wins, Twinkle Toes never gets a title match again. Yeah, so I guess that means he's got to win it, right? Because that's the thing. I'm not saying like Kenny will win, but MJF will leave with the title. But there's no countouts and shit, so like he'll DQ or something. Or it's like a fucking draw. Is there a time limit on this? I think there is. But I don't know if they start. Is it 60-minute time limit? They won't go that long, I guess. I was just going to say, like, some shit's going to happen where Kenny, like, wins, but then MJF leaves with the belt. Just anything to get him a rematch. But if that's the case, and you know Tone, I guess, likes to end these matches clean, Kenny's just going to win. Yeah, I'm trying to convince myself. I just wonder what the game. So what it was Dave. This is what I said on Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week too. Tone had that meeting at Forbidden Door and told them, listen, you guys have to really act like you didn't stooge what happened, and you got to just speak matter-of-factly. And then I guess Dave did just stooge it if Kenny's just going to win. And they just arrogantly said it. But that made my antenna go up of like, there's got to be more. Why would they just say it like that so condescendingly? Well, if he's winning no matter what, like that's literally what Brian was saying. So I guess he's winning tonight, not at the pay-per-view. The V trigger, they're trading blows. Crowd chanting A-Dub. The ring looks dope. The crowd looks dope for what it is. 3,300 people, and they're all like flocked outside. Then you have people who probably didn't buy tickets just like standing on the hill. Kenny with the power bomb on the knee. And now a package pile driver, I'm assuming. Kick out by Kenny. These guys are going off. Yeah, just the closer we get to Redemption, the more I'm thinking it's going to be multi-man at All In, which I didn't think that was the way to go, but I'm starting to feel like it will be MJF, Omega, Ospreay. That'll be the main event, triple threat. Okay, what the hell is MJF doing? He set up the monitors like he didn't just throw them on the ground. Tone's like, don't break those. We're trying to save money. We can't. If you break them, we can't bring Sheamus in. Oh, my goodness. Running boot. Oh, my God. That bump was crazy scary, but MJF took it. That whole table just exploded. Now, that's a crazy commercial break to go to. Like, that was perfectly timed, the perfect spot. And if obviously it's picture in picture so you can see, but if there wasn't even, you'd be like, holy fuck, man, how dare they cut to commercial now? Like, I need to see what the fuck's going to happen. Yeah, these guys are having a banger. Like, this should have been the world title picture for like longer. This is what people thought AEW would be like years ago. And there's just no count out. So I guess there's just absolutely no count out and no real rules other than time limit and pin or submission. Otherwise, like, you can fucking, I guess you'll get DQ'd if you hit someone with a chair or something maybe, but they just need to say in AEW there's no count outs for title matches. Or do they say that and I just don't know? Because I feel like I would know this. Has AEW ever explicitly say there's no countouts in world title matches? I know what the answer is, but I'm still going to ask AI. No, AEW's never explicitly established a strict no countouts rule. They should just establish it. They should just say world titles. There's no, if it's a title match, there's no countouts. That's all they have to do. And then just say, and for regular matches, it's 30-second limit outside the ring. And even, and what are people going to do? Oh, that's bullshit. Well, it's just different rules. You know, but they don't explain that. They try to go, oh, there's countouts, and even in tag matches, if they just said it's 30 seconds or it's 20 seconds that your partner can be in the ring while you are. And because it's a tag match, there's no DQ if they jump in and do a double team. That's not a DQ here in AEW. You just got to explain that shit over time. It would do wonders. We've been saying this for years, though, about AEW. Because even at the ref's discretion, so that means the ref can go, I'm not enforcing the countouts. Or does ref's discretion mean I will enforce it, but like I'm going to be very lenient on it. But if they're just fighting on the outside, I got to start counting at some point. It's fucking like, you got to at least tell us that much. But right now, they've spent like half the time outside of the fucking ring. So Bryce Remsburg would have been throwing this shit out a long time ago. One-winged angel on the apron, end his life, end his whole career. Yeah, like, see, they're outside the ring more now. Like, they're outside the ring again. How long can these guys go? Like, there's definitely... What's the difference between not DQing them for fighting outside the ring for too long, the whole match, and then, like, he just, you know, he's slamming them on the ground and metal shit. So if Kenny just picks up the fucking ring bell and gloms him, who gives a shit, right? Oh, and Kenny can't just springboard up the fucking barricade like he used to. I don't blame him. It's like how long he did that shit for like a decade, but he used to just spring up to the barricade and fucking do the backflip. He had to just climb it real slow. Oh, man, the tombstone. See, like a tombstone on the chair. So now it's like, all right, I'm counting, or you're like, I'm going to DQ you. You can't, if you use that chair, fight on the outside. But if you do that, so now there's no rules. So if Kenny just picks up the ring bell and fucking gloms MJF with it, who cares? Right? Now we're getting into that territory. Who gives a fuck? Why would that result in a DQ or whatever? Now you're just fucking up the sanctity of, like, this is just two guys fighting hardcore match. Okay, it's the hardcore title then, or what? Like, can he pin him out there too? That's who cares? Just count the ref or count the pin on the outside. Why don't you, ref? Like, what are we talking about? It's still using a chair and bringing a fucking chair into the shit. MJF always does this. He uses like the stairs, pile drive someone on the stairs. If I'm the ref, that's a DQ. Like, what are we talking about? So MJF's leg gave out, V trigger. So the whole match, his leg has been fine until it just gives out randomly the one time. Oh, he goes for the German. Yeah, dude, that's sick. I like when Kenny does the electric chair into the German. I think Canyon did that the first time. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I think Canyon or Mortis busted that shit out. Same guy. But you know what I mean? I think the electric chair, just toss him up and then German instead of the one winged. When someone's fighting out of the one winged, obviously he didn't hit the one winged angel, but guys, run the likes up. There's over 100 people watching on YouTube, well over. Make sure you guys are running the likes up. Try and get them to 100. If you're watching this on replay, hype the video. Okay, electric chair. Oh, the poison Rana. Oh, my God. That was crazy from MJF. MJF's going to hit him with the pile driver. Boom, that's it. Oh, my God, was I right? Oh, my God, Kenny kicking out. Fuck out of here. That it's... Crowd's going nuts for Kenny. I don't know. This match kind of rules. We spent a lot of time on the countouts, but it's just like, I'm just trying to explain. I always try and explain how, like, I try to add value. So, Tone, I know you fucking hate me and shit probably. If you heard this, I'm giving good advice. Like, just explain some of the rules and shit, right? Like, I try not to just, like, shit on something and don't explain how they could just make it
The
better.
best guy's Tony Khan.
I'm accepting fucking, if I'm willing to believe Danhausen, I can believe this ref is just a dumbass and doesn't want to count the fucking, but now MJF's going to bring the belt in. Why would it matter? Now the commentary, a disqualification. Now Remsburg cares, burying the ref. So now the match is getting stupid. They had the people, Kenny. It just had to be MJF. So he's got the diamond ring. It just had to be MJF hits a fucking move or like goes for some shit. Kenny reverses out of it, hits his shit. Now there's run-ins. Garbage. Oh, they just fucked the end of this match. And now Omega's got the belt. Why would the ref care? Why would the ref care that much about Ospreay? Oh my God. And then see that shit by hook or by crook. I was right. The entire chat was wrong. Oh no, I was wrong. Omega just no-sold that shit. Never mind. I got cocky. Yeah, I think this match was so good until that fucking bunch of stuff. They want a third V trigger. Come on, Wardlow. Powerbomb Kenny. Come out of nowhere. Oh, he hits the third V trigger. The one-winged angel's coming. It's over. Yeah, dude, if I was Tone, I would fire Dave Meltzer right now for fucking stooging.
Why don't you
this
just
is gonna
go ahead
happen.
and fuck yourself up the ass?
So your boy Phil was wrong. I picked MJF. Kenny Omega wins the title. 2 major title changes from WWE and AEW. Crowd going nuts for Omega. Okay, so Kenny's not defending his title at Redemption at all. It will be Ospreay versus Kenny. They're admitting that wholeheartedly. And maybe MJF gets a match against Sheamus or something. And then they break out their mini fireworks because they don't have fireworks like WWE. And then this shit gets cut off for some commercial like immediately. Right? So I don't know what you guys grade that show. It was pretty good, kind of boring overall, but like pretty good. I mean, the matches were fun and shit. And then they just schmozzed up the end of that match, which I really don't like. And so MJF could still weasel his way onto that match, but something's going to happen that averts him, and then he faces whoever he faces at All In, which will be interesting to say the least. What's chat saying? MJF needs time to heal. He wrestled that match at like 45%. I don't know. He went off. He went pretty hard. Enjoy vacation. He'll be there for All In, though. Okay, but yeah, he does need time to heal up. What the fuck? They don't defend on the pay-per-view? Not at Redemption, which I don't mind. Right? They should have saved the cage match bullshit for Redemption or something. Like I don't mind them not defending the fucking title at Redemption. Maybe Kenny will, but I don't mind that because you have All In. Just build up. It's Kenny versus Ospreay 3. We fucking laid it out. Dave stooged it out, and it's just the most obvious fucking thing. And that's why Dave's like, you got to do the obvious thing. He's just a fucking idiot. Why continue in this company if you're MJF? I agree. Carry the company, but can't carry the title into All In. I agree. They're kind of fucking MJF. And he's sitting there like just coping, putting Instagram posts about Punk and Sheamus and all the ex-WWE guys and everyone in WWE talking about WWE. Just go to fucking WWE. They fucked you, bro. He's been carrying the company on his back, and they're just going to fuck him and not let him go to All In as the champ and defend in the main event. Well, he main evented before. Okay, so he's your top guy, and this is the problem, right? Everybody fucking cries about, oh, Punk won the title. Yeah, he's their fucking top guy. Punk and Roman are champs. They're fucking top guys, and they draw. And they put the company on their backs, and they're the people who get thanked for the houses at the end of the fucking day. And MJF's out there, and he does need time to rest up. So I'm not against that entirely, but he is the only reason, if you want to argue, oh, their ratings, he's the only guy you can point to when, like, okay, he's champion. They do solid ratings, if you want to call him that, above 600K or whatever. And he drew the house at Double or Nothing. And Ospreay doesn't move the fucking needle at all. Now, I think Kenny and Joe, you can put them in that category too. I think people like to see Kenny and Joe and MJF. Those are top guys. Bruv being there, okay, whatever. Maybe it's Moxley versus MJF or something like that. But either way, MJF is getting shitted on, and he needs to make his goddamn way to WWE at this point. Now, I did hear rumors. I talked about this on Memba Monday. I heard an allegedly. MJF, it could be MJF, maybe not him, but there was like a top talent who got frustrated, very frustrated backstage in AEW. Now, no sheets have reported on any of this shit, and who knows if they even will, but MJF's blown up times in the past, allegedly, right? And so, I don't know, on Memba Monday, I talked about how I did hear rumors that like one of the top guys in AEW was like, what the fuck? Now, if it's MJF being vocal about what the fuck, I'm not the champ at All In, like, yeah, I don't know. I could totally see that happening, right? But MJF should just go to the Fed, right? I don't think it'll happen anytime soon. And Tone will just back up the Brinks truck to keep him around, which is good for him, you know? But he will definitely be on the All In show. And if he leaves and we see the ratings start to go down again, and then Nielsen flips their fucking shit up again, which apparently they're doing, and whether that's good or bad for wrestling, we'll see. But that will be really telling, because I just take the numbers at face value. That'll be really telling if MJF's actually like a draw for them and shit or not. And I say he is, and I say it's fucked that leading into your biggest show, he's so fucking banged up. You're putting him in 12-man cage matches or whatever, and he's so fucking banged up that you don't have him frequently on TV leading up to All In, and especially as your world champ when that's proven to work. And the little while Darby had the belt, the ratings fell off a little bit, and then MJF wins it, and then they're doing good against Soccer and shit. All I'm saying is this. Kenny definitely deserves it. Tone had his vision of All In, Wembley, Ospreay main events, ends the trilogy with Kenny Omega, their trilogy, a passing of the torch moment, if you will. And hopefully they tell a story of like, and I hate Moxley with Ospreay and shit, but hopefully they tell the story of Moxley saying, look, I'm one of Kenny's greatest and earliest rivals here in AEW. I know how to beat him. This is how you be. I beat him multiple times or whatever over this belt. Exploding barbed wire, right? So hopefully they get into some of that, and at least Tone, if he had this vision, he stuck to it. And he's paying Ospreay all this money, and he's going to try and make him a fucking star. Hopefully he can build up to All In well enough, right? But Ospreay's from the UK, and they're doing their lowest attended fucking thing, so people really don't care. And they kind of fuck themselves announcing it, too, if, like, Kenny does defend at Redemption. Unless, again, Kenny has prior commitments, because he's always fucking off to Japan and shit when he should be at some of these shows and building up to matches. So who really knows with all of that? But with MJF, who does he face that makes people give a fuck? And we know with Tone's storytelling, like, who's it going to be, Swerve or something? Moxley? Maybe MJF fights Mox? Like, what fucking match do they do that makes anyone care what MJF's doing? Right? And again, the trilogy bout between Omega and Ospreay started in Nuge, and then at Forbidden Door, AEW / Nuge, Forbidden Door was the second encounter. So now at just strictly AEW, they will end the trilogy. They're 1-1 with each other. So if Tone had that vision, cool. Good for him. I think MJF would be like the more blockbuster, if you will, match to go with in your world title picture. Because I'm just like, you know, Lashley is sitting there on Collision going, I'm not going after belts. So who's like a fucking name? Joe versus MJF or something? Like, who's a name? Who can MJF go at? Maybe they sign Sheamus for All In. Maybe Tone locks that in and goes MJF versus Sheamus one-off. if they're not going to sign Sheamus for good. But then that's taken a slot from some of the other boys, and the rumors are they don't want Sheamus to come in because, according to Dave and Brian Alvarez, well, because there's so many people here, and it's taken a spot from the boys. So who do you do? Like Jericho and MJF? Like, what's a marquee match for MJF? I don't know. And Ospreay's not really marquee, but you're paying him all this money. The payoff is him winning at Wembley, lowest attended shit. So obviously he doesn't make a lick of difference, but at least they're like justifying all this fucking money they're paying him, you know? So I'll say that, I guess. So it is what it is. I don't know what else to say about it. It was a solid fucking match, I guess. Overall, I mean, it got schmozzy at the end. The world title picture, it's kind of glib, in my opinion, as far as like, I thought it would be MJF Ospreay, or like maybe even MJF Omega, because it's more box office, you know? But it is what it is. And then MJF versus Hangman, unfortunately, like that's garbage. No one cares, bro. Like nobody cares about Hangman, dude. Like no one gives a fuck. Foley versus MJF hardcore match. Yeah, if that's the case, then fuck this company. You know? Fuck this company entirely. It'll be MJF versus Foley. So there you go. Okay, guys. Yeah, overall, this match was what it was. Beach Break was an okay show. Jack Perry's signing was fucking just terrible. And it just felt cucked out. And he had to sit there and sign, and I redid my contract with Tone. Okay, bud. Like nobody cares. We already knew that's what was gonna happen. The rest of the show, the gauntlet was whatever. And the what else? What else happened on the show? The Mick Foley thing was just trash. That whole segment was ass. They just ruined it. Foley got the one good line in, and then the rest of it was garbo. Hot garbo. So let's get into, guys, let's talk about WWE, okay? We're going to do some WWE news. And so let's get into some WWE news. Again, I want to hit my breaking news drop for you guys, but I don't know where it is, Lex. Me neither. So Rey Mysterio says that Bad Bunny appearing in AAA is being worked on, which is absolutely going to happen. And Damian Priest is there. Speaking of AAA, La Parka and Mystery Iguana dance in the ring with some kids after the match.
¡Qué felicidad en media! ¡Baila! ¡Los pasos! ¡Ahí voy yo! ¡Otro niño! ¡Ya, otro niño!
Yeah, that rules. The commentary calling it like it's intense and serious. I don't think we have any other AAA news. But in other, El Hijo del Vikingo underwent successful knee surgery. He was on fucking SmackDown. Wishing Vikingo all the best and a speedy recovery. So good for him. And yeah, things were taped, so it was kind of out of whack of when his injury happened and when he appeared on SmackDown, and then his NXT match got canceled or whatever the fuck. But that happened. WWE used a video of El Grande Americano at the World Cup from a fan account whose display name now reads in the embedded clip as All In August 30th, fuck TKO. But it's like you were at WWE standing fucking El Grande, so self-felt. Speaking of AAA, Damian Priest and Lola Vice, we're chilling at the Puerto Rican Day Parade, I believe, right? Or maybe it was just for the 4th of July. I'm not even sure. But Damian Priest plans on retiring before the age of 50. So that's coming up right away. And he told that to Chris D. Stefano, the comedian. And so Damian Priest plans on retiring before the age of 50. So in the next couple years here, guys. All right. So he's going to go to AAA, make some money, do some shit with, I'm sure, his future wife, and hopefully team up with Bad Bunny one more time when they do a AAA show in fucking Puerto Rico and shit. That'll rule. And then he'll come out, Chembea, right? So we move along here. Speaking of the United States champion, Trick Willie, was with the boat Lil Yachty at his recent performance.
I was geeking. What I say? I was trying to strike shit.
And is he blunting? Oh, shit. That used to be a fine. Yeah, you're fined. Yeah, I'm going to find you $100,000. So speaking of other WWE viral videos and moments, Montez Ford was attempting to make the security guard laugh during his entrance. This shit is fucking hilarious. And he props to the security guard. He would not crack.
But right now, the World Tag Team Champs are in the house. Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins. It just looks right with the gold around their waist. Unless you're that security guard.
The security guard rules for not, like, you can't break him.
Keep it going.
And then was he going to make a Paul Blart reference? Jesus Christ. How dare you do a Paul Blart reference to this security guard, a man field, doing the dangerous job of fending off the fucking neckbeards that nobody wants to deal with, right? So in other WWE news, we are going to talk about what happened on Raw. But first, the trailer for Unreal Season 3, premiering July 21st on Netflix.
Who's next? I'm in the ring. Just give me a sec.
Lands on the back of his neck. He's okay. He's okay. From the top row.
Breaker and Trick and shit. Yeah, they're blowing them up into stars. Like, people want to get mad about that. Trick and Oba and fucking all these guys are going to be big stars. All right. Braun Breaker. And they're being featured on Netflix, maybe some live action on there. That's all good. Netflix loves this show. It does great ratings. They're splitting up the shit they film into like 2 sections. Like they started with some touching on the John Cena shit. Now they're going to actually follow John Cena. This shit's going to do gangbusters. And this show's going to keep rolling. And again, like people get so worked up about this show. That's the fucking point. You're getting worked. It's for marks like myself to just watch and go, oh, this is cool. And whether you believe it or not, who gives a fuck? Who cares if you believe it or not? But furthermore, it's not for you. It's for, like I've said a million times, like people who might be wrestling fans adjacent and people's wives and shit. This is a wrestling show you throw on and your girlfriend is like, okay, I can actually get into this a little bit and learn about these people on a personal level and then go watch them on TV and stuff. Jesus fucking Christ. People are such goddamn marks. And speaking of people being just absolute fucking marks, okay? Chelsea Green deleted her Twitter or deactivated it. She'll be back. They always come back. But she deactivated her Twitter because a bunch of sickos were like, she's MAGA, and they started coming after her because of her political beliefs and shit. And then she like was defending it. I'm pro-choice and I'm pro-life. I don't know if that's the shit she was saying, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? Like I'm pro this, I'm anti that. I don't like this, I like that. It's like, don't even qualify yourself to these fucking marks. So she just deactivated. Good on her. But it's just this weird campaign to like cancel wrestlers because you people are bored and people aren't watching AEW and you guys are getting desperate, and that's all it fucking is. So she celebrated the 4th of July and people go, How dare you celebrate the 4th of July? And it's like, well, it's the 4th of July. She go, fuck yourself. How about
You
that?
are a naive, brainless, pathetic, idiotic, clueless, dumbass Mark.
Like, it's okay to be proud of your country and shit. And obviously, Chelsea Green's Canadian. I think she has dual citizenship now or is trying to get it if she doesn't have it already. And it's okay to be a Canadian who loves America and an American who loves Canada. And the internet's making everybody tarded and mashed potato brained. And it's just divisive. And you have all these fucking weirdos trying to cancel her because she loves America. Then you better cancel Japan because they celebrate 4th of July harder than fucking like any other. You better cancel all of Japan and all that nude shit you guys love so much. Because they all love America. And it's just stupid. It's so dumb. And then she deletes her fucking Twitter because people are marks and they cry. They're going to cry about Unreal. They're fucking babies. And they cry about fucking everything, right? And speaking of which, the fans were accused recently of overstepping their bounds with Jey Uso and his wife. And Jey Uso's wife files for divorce after 12 years of marriage. Now, this is unfortunate that this happened. Jey Uso, of course, has been dating, and some sickos, some marks, some wackos saw them at the club. Jada Parker, Miss Parker, and Jey Uso, and she had her hand on his lap and shit. And I just said, look, maybe they're separated. Maybe it's a Jarrett, Karen Angle thing on Dark Side of the Ring. And maybe Kurt Angle has a different side of the story. But, you know, Karen Jarrett's like, look, we were separated for a long ass time. And I was just there to make Kurt look like he's the all-American, happy wife, happy life, happy family. And he wasn't that. And who knows, man, maybe they were separated for a while. Maybe they had an agreement. We're going to see other people. We're not going to divorce. The kids are fucking whatever. Kids come first. And you have to look at that as a very mature decision if parents are putting the kids first, no matter what. Okay. But they separated. Jey Uso's like, I'm a grown ass man and all of this shit. You know, maybe I don't want to, like, I know I am speculating, but it doesn't really matter because he was open with, like, he was leaving live shows with Jada Parker and not trying to hide it. Like meeting fans and going, yeah, what's up? Da, 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 da. So obviously it was kind of known we're not together. Now that's shitty. Sucks when parents get divorced and shit. For the kids, I don't know how old the kids are, but again, a lot of people are like, oh, it's the sickos that caused this breakup because Jada Parker was seen on camera with her hand on the lap. How do we know that he wasn't just already comfortable being with her in the club, knowing people might snap a picture of him and it gets back to his wife? Like, we don't know. So again, sickos, wackos, I guess we'll call them wackos, calm the fuck down, right? Like, all good. Stop getting overly involved. And if you're going to report on it, who gives a shit, right? It's a fucking headline. And obviously we do some sleuthing here. We make fun of shit. But when people do this weirdo thing, like until she comes out burying Jay, he's a piece of shit. He cheated on me. It's like, shut the fuck up. Don't get too attached. Don't get overly involved in these people's relationship and shit like that, you know? And if you see them in the club and she's got a hand on a lap, you're like, post that shit. You know, I even said it at the time. It feels kind of ick getting involved in their personal shit. But I mean, can you blame anybody for fucking posting that? Like, that's juicy. Ringside Steve Carrier, of course, is all over this. I'm surprised he didn't send Jey Uso a fucking video of his sugar baby in Alaska, flexing her on him. You know? And people hating on Jay, like, fuck you. Like he said, he's a grown-ass man. Like, come on now. You don't know what he's got going on. So, moving along here, let's talk about some fans getting completely destroyed by Sami Zayn. So we're going to talk about Raw a little bit here. And Sami Zayn lost the WWE title to CM Punk. And Sami Zayn was flipping off the crowd in Chicago after being heckled by the fans. So they were just burying his ass. And Sami Zayn had this to say.
Fuck you, Sami! Hey! Fuck you!
And if anybody's making any more of that, these guys are pieces of shit. No, I promise. Sami knew what he was doing, leaning into that, like giving them their fucking, he just sold for them. He was giving them their like, oh, fuck you. Then it makes them, dude, we razz Sami Zayn. And he's like, this is his character. What the fuck? And he's freaking out. And it, you know, Sammy's just a consummate professional.
Yes! Yes! Yeah, that was good.
And he knows where he is.
Good. Hey, he didn't think we could see him back there.
So that was fucking funny. And then CM Punk also had an awkward interaction with a fan that's pretty goddamn funny. And yeah, so Punk showed up, won the title, and everybody's melting down about it. I think it was pretty fucking awesome. I'm not gonna lie. It was like a goosebumps moment when that thing, like everybody knew Punk was gonna come out. Again, the dirt sheets were worked into thinking like, oh my God, there's turmoil and Sami Zayn is going to go back to AEW. And they just worked the sheets so hard. Like he's going to go back to AEW because he's upset because they're sending him to SmackDown or whatever the fuck. Meanwhile, he was on summer vacation, right? And Punk knew he was coming back to win the title, likely in Chicago. This was a well thought out long-term plan. I'm telling you guys right now. Okay. Allegedly. And Punk was always going to SmackDown, but it was just either he was going to win the fucking title like he did, or he was going to like get involved and then follow the title there. But either way, this is all part of the show. And this has been foretold for a while. And here was a fan saying, CM Punk, you were a dick to me 10 years ago. And he goes, awesome, probably because you're an asshole. You gotta love that asshole finger popping each other's assholes, right? They're making 24 Jump Street, I guess. And so CM Punk won the goddamn title and he goes champ shit. Right? And he posts these dates. He's going to be he's doing all the house shows and shit. He's doing all the live events. Your boy Philly Phil's pulling up to Edmonton or Calgary. I haven't decided yet. Get your goddamn super chats and gifted memberships in and check out patreon.com/ProWrestleTimes. All right. And I can't wait to see fucking Punk. I'm going to go goddamn insane. And I'm so excited he's going to be there. They were advertising like Cody Rhodes and shit, which is cool. But obviously card subject to change and whether he's there or not. I'm sure he'll be there for Edmonton and Calgary. You got to pay your respects, right, to the Hart family name. Natty will for surely pull up. And yeah, I'm going to fucking go to one of them. I haven't decided which one yet. And I can't wait to go nuts for Punk as WWE champion. And he just announces he's doing the house show loops and all of that. So I'm fucking a fighting champion in shape. People crying, Punk's a part-timer. No, he just gets elongated breaks that he deserves. And he goes and films movies and shit. So you guys want both things to happen, right? You're all good when MJF takes time off to go fucking film movies if you're a sicko, and if you're a wacko, it's just box office. This is why we fucking love WWE. Like everybody's so fucking over right now. And Punk deserves some time off to get bulked up, and he didn't waste it. He came back and he's in like great shape right now, bulked up, fucking having banger matches. And his back was rippling, dude. His back was Rhea Ripley, dog. His back was rippled up, man. Okay? Might be thirsting over Punker a little bit here, but that's what you want to see, dude. He comes back. He's jacked up. He's doing the house shows. He's going to carry this title. This was a plan for a while. So for those of you who are mad that Sami was champ, you didn't even get time to wipe your tears before Punk became champ. No more tears. And then for those of you who are mad that Sami had to drop the title, well, he's lucky. And this isn't me like he's lucky but he is lucky he even got it. Like, he had it at all. His name goes down in history. He's the WWE fucking champ. Like, he deserved that. And if you want to talk about guys who grind it out and shit, but again, like, we're lucky that even happened because he was never supposed to be the guy to ever win it. Okay? So it's like crazy that he even did win it and is still in the conversation. And everybody's hearts got broken, and then they all got broken again. And I said it to my wife too. I was like, yo, Punk won the title. I was like, hopefully he's in Edmonton or Calgary. I was like, he's got to be at the Calgary show because he won his pink and black. He's not going to pass up as champion the opportunity to pull up in Calgary like he's the biggest Bret Hart mark. And she's like, well, I don't know. They said Cody Rhodes and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, hun, I'm fucking telling you. Punk is going to pull up. He's doing it. He's going to be in Edmonton and Calgary. So I don't know which one I'm going to, but I'm going to one of those. And shout out Punk, man. I fucking loved it. It was just a goosebumps, tingling fucking moment for me where it was like, God damn it. Yes. And then, a lot of people were like, what do you think happens? I mean, Rhodes was like injured. It was very Hulk Hogan. Speaking of Bret Hart, it was very Hulk Hogan, like taking the shot to beat Yokozuna when Bret Hart fucking got the dust in the eyes from Mr. Fuji-san or whatever the fuck. But to me, they went and put on a banger ass match, and this is way more compelling, and everybody's talking about it, and it was trending for days, and they were melting down about Sami. Now everyone's melting down about Punk. That's how you know the show's good, baby. Everyone's talking about that shit. Also, new World Tag Team Champions division. So Breaker and Theory won. Maxine joined Theory. I love that shit, and I think that Maxine and Theory will be good together. The Vision's stronger than ever. Reed's eventually going to come back. Kind of sucks for Breaker because he went from like kind of world title contention to now he's a fucking tag team guy. But it also, you could argue, it elevates the tag titles a little bit, the way they've been treated. But the Street Profits, I want to see Dawkins join the Vision. Like, I'm fucking sick and tired of them for the millionth time. They've done this 7,000 times where they just win the belts. You think they're going to get a run. The red cups come back and then they just drop them. Something's got to give. Something's got to be changed. And good for these guys. I'm all good with these guys having the titles. But, like, what the hell are we doing here with the Street Profits? That's all I'll say about that. And Member Monday, we watched it live. So become a member, okay? Also, Sheamus's 19-year career with WWE comes to an end. Now, again, I said this on Member Monday. Sheamus rules. People saying he was robbed of the IC title. Nope. I'm going to keep the same energy with that as I did with John Cena. It's a Trivial Pursuit question. Like, he doesn't need... I'm not mad that they gave the IC title to Cena. But why does Sheamus deserve to be a Grand Slam? It means nothing. You fuckers make it mean nothing because you think everyone deserves the fucking title. So if everyone deserves every title and every accolade, then nobody really deserves all this shit. And it doesn't matter he wasn't a Grand Slam champion and not the IC champ. You motherfuckers are focusing on the one thing he didn't achieve as opposed to all the fucking 800 million things Sheamus did achieve. Okay, you marks? Fuck, dude, it pisses me off how even the people who claim to be WWE fans and shit, even they do this. He was never Grand Slam champ.
You are a naive, brainless, pathetic, idiotic, clueless, dumbass Mark.
Guys, he achieved so much. And his retirement match with Cena and Ray, the 6-man tag where the crowd was going nuts and he had that moment with Cena and Ray when they could have used anybody. And they went, you know what? Sheamus is kind of a legend. Or he is a legend. Fuck it. He is, dude. Send him out there with Ray and Cena. I mean, what? That's your last WWE match? You should be so privileged. You should be so fucking privileged to have a 10-year career. And I'm not shitting on Sheamus. I'm saying like the fans. And I'm sure Sheamus feels this way. I'm sure he's like, dude, it was such a blessing to do this. Like, do I want to work more? Yeah. Am I 50 though? Yeah. Do I get hurt a bunch? Do I drop fucking weights on my head in the gym and now I'm out for another 6 months? Yeah. You know what I mean, dude? Like, he keeps getting hurt and shit. He's older. It is what it is. Maybe Tone brings him in. I think Sheamus and TNA against Nemeth, even for like a short program. You know, TNA will do 3 to 6 month deals. Fucking Sheamus right there. That would rule. You get like a few pay-per-view matches out of Nemeth and Sheamus. No? And then they team up and beat up a couple guys or whatever the fuck, you know? Let's say you get 6 months out of Sheamus or something. That would be cool. People are like, he should go to Japan and get fucking hurt, like really physically fighting some of these guys. Maybe, I don't know. A one-off at All In would be cool. Right? It would be. In the UK, he just shows up one-off, though. Like, he doesn't stick around and, oh, they should put the bar back together. Yeah, if you want to lower the bar, if you want to, like, just be a fucking hack, then do that. Okay. But shout out Sheamus. Again, people crying and focusing on the IC title. Fuck you. How about focus on the shit that he did achieve instead of focusing on the one thing he didn't? So speaking of the youngsters coming up, we're going to end with this here. Sources claim that WWE has interest in Richard Holiday. So again, somebody that everybody puts over. They expect he could be signed soon if he isn't already, which has been anticipated for a while now. Australian standouts, the Dropouts, Scott Green and the Tuckmen, are expected to make their way to WWE. I've never fucking heard of these guys. They're Australian. They're standouts. They have nice mullets and stashes. Very promising. The Dropouts is a cool name. Scott Green and the Tuckmen. It's got to be like Scott Green and John Tuckman, or Scott Green and Ted Tuckman, or Ted Tuck, or something like that, right? You got to do so. It can't just be the Tuckman or the Tuckman. Is it Tuckman or Tuckman? Either way, I don't know shit about these kids. They got a good look. They got a good name. Hopefully they keep that name. And speaking of keeping your, that Ren Sinclair, formerly Maddie Renkowski, or that's her real name or whatever. It's fucking Ren's Day, guys. 2's in the chat. 2 for Ren's Day. And it is Happy Ren's Day. We will end with this, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey guys, Happy Ren's Day. So today I have a message. And Carmen, this is for you. If you're not Carmen, you can go ahead and stay, but just remember you're on my side. Hello? Are you kidding me? After everything that we've been through together, you're going to do that to me, Carmen? What about this? What about our shared sign? What about our cups?
Got a letter.
We just got a letter? We just got a
letter.
I wonder who it's from. We're invited to a championship celebration on Evolve. Tonight, I do love a party.
Who doesn't?
But what would I wear? It's giving. That's a bit of a party killer, huh? No. It's giving. I kill people and bake them into pies. No. Ooh. 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 That's it. I'm not going.
It's glitching. Okay, well, StreamYard ruined the end, at least on my end, of fucking Ren's Day. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was WWE. And And ladies and germs, that was PWT Live Show. I want to thank you all for being here. She said her Wednesday intro line on Evolve. That fucking rules, dude. I want to thank you all for being here. Everybody, go enjoy your evenings. I will see you for Sicko Saturday. And also tomorrow for Dave Meltzer, dumb moment of the week. Ren has better camera angles and sound than Tony Khan. I know. Literally, she does. Sassy Go. Literally, she fucking does. And yeah, I've been Phil S. Marks. You have been the PWT Universe, and I will see you guys next time. Be good. Peace and love.
Tony Khan is the best guy. Ooh, yeah. Dave woke up on a Wednesday night, got the star ratings ready, feeling just right. Tone booked a ladder match, 12 flips in a row. Dave said, 6 stars, brother, let's go. The ratings dipped a little, but that's okay. There's always a reason by the end of the day. When the message boards crumble and wonder why, Dave just smiles and starts to type. Maybe you just don't understand the art. That's the line before he plays his part. Tony Khan is the best guy, never wrong and he'll tell you why. If Tone books it, it's certified. Tony Khan is the best guy. Tony Khan is the best guy. Dave's got another defense to write. Every match is a masterpiece tonight. Tony Khan is the best guy. Tony Khan is the best guy. Tone made another huge announcement again. The biggest announcement since 10 announcements ago then. Dave got excited before it was said. Already handing out flowers in his head. The forums laughed, the podcast cried, the tribal wars burned all night. But Dave was there with a brand new take, explaining every questionable mistake. The critics yell from far and wide, but Dave is always by Tone's side. Tony Khan is the best guy, never wrong and he'll tell you why. If Tone books it, it's certified. Tony Khan is the best guy. Tony Khan is the best guy. Dave's got another defense to write. Every match is a masterpiece tonight. Tony Khan is the best guy. Tone on the phone at 2:45. Dave, what'd you think of the show? Dave said, Tone, that was wrestling history. That's exactly what I hoped you'd say, bro. The fans keep arguing year after year, but Dave's got 5 more stars to give right here.